Yes, sir. Welcome to the Red Cup tonight, man. There's my man JB over there. That's my crash dummy right there, man. That's my main. I was scrapping, man. We got my main man, Roach, back in the day, man. You know, knew Roach when he was young, man, playing against Romeo. Got a chance to meet Lorenzo back in the day. Been on the show before. Always knowledgeable. Always talk good basketball, man. Great conversations. Got my man JB. Got my man Hernandez, man, from Wilson High School. Got them boys back on the map. You know what I'm saying? Since they ain't did nothing since Chris Cheeks, man. Man got them back city title last year, back at it this year. You know what I'm saying? Great chance they did go back at it this year, man. You know, we just come to, you know, what we always do, just talk DC basketball, man, and just give everybody a nice platform, man, to talk about what they want to talk about, man. So it's nice to have you on, Hernandez. Roach been on before. Yeah. He know the format. He know what we talk about and everything, man. First of all, I would like to say the pre-show, which is always the greatest to me because we all get together and just talk about certain shit from back in the day. And, you know, it's not like we rehearsing shit. This is the conversation's a little better sometimes to me because we get a chance to just, you know, just talk about shit. Coaching and all that shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just start off, man, by, you know, Hernandez, man, like I said, welcome to the show, welcome to the city and all that, man. You've been around for a long time. First of all, I got to appreciate you for bringing that shit back to the inner high. I would never call it DCIAA, so there's no disrespect to whatever the fuck is going on. My heart is with the inner high, always. They can change the name all they want.
This is like George Farmer Highway, right?
Yeah, George. That's not Martin Luther King. I call it George Farmer Highway. Fuck that bullshit. You're absolutely right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, just coming from out of town, man, just getting that inner city basketball back together with the mob you got. I mean, you've been here for a while. You know what I'm saying? Just tell me about some of the challenges that you faced. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get that Wilson, not in the Wilson shit, just the inner high back together.
I mean, I've been at Wilson now. This is my 11th year. I got there straight out of school, straight out of college. I didn't even want to do no coaching, to be honest. I was still playing ball, like, hey, we're the next, can I get ready to go overseas or something like that? And one of my good friends, Andre Williams, who's now the coach at Baloo, you know, asked me to do like the training stuff for him, just train kids up, and you know, because he knew what it needed to be, like to get kids with it, but it was still, we couldn't get over the hump. So I was his assistant for 6 years and just kind of sat back and watched and, you know, had the JV and saw how things could be, you know, if the kids actually bought into something and this and that. And then he decided to leave, and so then I kind of took over. And once I took over, I had 13 seniors on that team, and
whole damn team.
Right, and it was two freshmen, but we had a lot of kids on JV, and so I'm a big believer in the program and those kids coming up. So kept all 13. Graduated. It was the toughest coaching, toughest part of coaching was coaching grown men that think they know stuff that you built with them, but you ain't their head coach, so they kind of don't look at you the same way, but they know you know what you're talking about. But so it was a good year. We finished 8th though. Then I had my youngins, and that started with Allende, Hakeem, Josiah Marable, Isaiah Jennings, all city kids that was just there. And once that hit, you know, I had the plan, I had the blueprint of what I wanted it to look like, and it just kind of worked. Like, you know, we kept building, kept doing skill development, you know, just out here, they playing AAU, and we kind of used it for what it was. Didn't duck any games, finished 8th again that year because they were all youngins. We were shooting 50 free throws a game, couldn't make half of them, you know, but, you know, we knew where we were at. So once we got our first taste of winning was that year. That's the first time we won in 33 years at Wilson. And so since Chris Cheeks and those guys, and they 84. And that championship was special because, again, we played against we actually had to go through two talented, really, really, really talented teams to win in Woodson. And that's the year they had Keon Boyd,
that mob.
It's been that long.
Yeah.
Cool, bro. Time fly, you having fun,
but we did that. We beat them in the playoffs. And then we had to face Rob and Roosevelt, which is always a well-coached team. He does well with his players. They had a really good team. Again, experienced. I mean, they're a playoff team.
Right,
if you look at them this year,
very like you said, experience.
no matter the number they're at,
The
they
milk
always
house
seem to be there. And, so it's just been kind of the plan. I like to put guys in place like my coaching staff. I give shots out to them because they got to put up with me because it's a grind and sometimes they don't understand it. Like I'm in the gym probably 365 days a year, and sometimes they're not, and I get on them about it. Like, hey, you're not really doing. I know it's volunteer, but if you want to do this, you gonna have to do it.
No bullshit.
And
No bullshit.
Just talking about that.
With T,
bullshit.
T, that's kind of my top guy. He's been around me since we started. And he's a young guy, so he gets a lot of things done. He's doing AAU. He's doing, he's still playing, and so he's kind of tuned to what I want, like all the skill development. He's in the gym scouting, brings me back scouting reports, and I kind of mix it up with guys that, and that's kind of built what we have. It has not been easy with all this stuff. Wilson is not an easy place to be, period. Academically, everybody's not for Wilson. You can't get in anyway. So it's like either when you're there, you better cherish it because if you get kicked out or anything like that, you're done. You're done. So it's been hard, man. I've been trying to look at DC basketball because I hear lots of great things about it, like Spring On and Dunbar and Coolidge and all these schools that have been great. And I'm like, well, where did it turn to go bad? Like, when did that happen?
We get to that.
and that's what I always talk about. But it seems like, to me, and it's just my opinion, the coaches aren't on the same page in the league. So when we're not on the same page, it's going to be like this. And I've said this in meetings that we've had. Like, until we become as one, the league's going to stay the way it is. Like, some people going to do their job, some people not. You got some first-time coaches in the league that's never done this in their life. And, they're just thrown out there, but they need some mentoring. They need a lot of things. Somebody mentor me. And, I try to talk to these guys, but some of them don't want to talk. It's cool. It's okay. Like, I don't dislike any of them. I like what they do. There's a lot of good coaches in the league that do a great job, but it just seems like the league is at a disadvantage when we're not on the same page. I've heard that coaches have talked, and the older coaches that have been there, they talk and this and that. And I'm not accepted. That's cool. That's cool with me, but that doesn't stop me from doing my job.
What you mean by you not accepted?
I'm not from around here. That's the thing I hear. So because I'm not from around here,
Yeah, so that's why they say you're saying you're not accepted, or they
that's
say.
what they say. I don't. That doesn't bother me. Like whether I grew up in the inner city, so played in the inner city in a public league, so I'm familiar with how it works. Like the league should be talented. It's a lot of talented kids that people not investing their time in. Like,
That's just hate to me, though. At the end of the day, it's gotta be. It's just the haters, dog. When you doing good, I mean, at the end of the day, it ain't about where you from, yo. It's where you at and what you doing with it. Especially what you doing for these kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They can see skill set when it comes to coaches. At least that's what I would assume.
Right.
Dudes that can coach, dudes that can't coach. We would never throw dudes under the bus.
Right.
But I don't know, maybe I'm looking at it different. I mean, you've been here 11 years now, so you kind of like a transplant. I mean, you know the shit. You can talk about the shit better than I could. Recent memory. I know in a high with this cat and these dudes playing. You know what I'm saying? But I can't talk DC, however y'all call it now, to the level how you can do it. And I'm from here. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I would say a little bit of haterade. I mean, winning breeds contempt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, I like it. Like I said, I don't mind any of it. Like I said, I just try to get better. Like, I go to games. I don't just go to games to look at kids. I go to games to watch coaches. Like, what are you doing? How can I get better? Like, can I add anything to my repertoire to make me better, to help get kids? Like, like coaches reach out all the time. I'm not the selfish one to say, yeah, they all in my gym. No, go to this gym, the inner high. The inner high got some kids that you might want to see. And but a lot of people not doing that, and they're not doing that at all. And
What's up, booby?
I want it to change, and I would, like I said, I would welcome it. Like, we're good, but we shouldn't be the only good team. Like, we should be. Everybody should be good. Roosevelt should be good all the time. McKinley should be good all the time. I mean, these guys, Dunbar should be good all the time. Like, there are kids right there in the middle schools that they're not good yet, but they will be good. I mean, that's how we got it done. Deal, all those kids were from Deal. Josiah, Ricky, Yende was from, I forgot what school.
What's his name do a good job up there, man? What's his name? Steve was the coach up at Deal.
Stacy.
Stacy does.
Go get trapped. I told you, we gonna get it done, baby. We gonna get it back. We can get it back, boo.
Just the 1 year I was
Love
in
you,
middle
boo.
school up there, a couple of years back, and chance to meet Stacy. He does a real good job up there. And,
When do you see where it took a turn? What's your
just
thoughts?
my
That's a
team.
great. Hey, I swear, I was going to ask the same fucking question, and I was going to ask it to Roach because, you know what I'm saying, when Roach was Roach came up in that era, as a kid, me, not just him, all of us came watching. That motherfucking shit was like all of it, and to me, the shit was very well organized with administration. You know what I'm saying? Like people, school, they actually cared about basketball and football and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's like, I think they just look at it as an extracurricular activity where it has to be done at school, but they're not looking at getting it done.
Shit to y'all.
And like you said, you gotta be committed to this. This ain't a 9-to-5 job, man. You gotta have dudes on your staff that's gonna go beat the Bibles, gonna go into practice, gonna introduce themselves, gonna meet AAU coaches, gonna meet this. It does not stop. You know what I mean? You can be in a grocery store, see a big kid, man, go talk to his father. It's not, that's what this is. You got a lot of guys now, in my opinion, who just wanna be on staff. You know what I mean? That ain't gonna get it done. It's not gonna get done. They don't really realize, like I always used to say, you know, they don't understand all that it takes to come into. Guys who come to the game just watching games have no clue how much work goes into actually having a winning program. Not just having a year and then you bad 3 years and you back at it. Having a winning program, developing relationships, going in. You know, Butch told me a story about Rob, man, which gave me a whole different perspective. He said, man, I didn't know Rob. He said, man, Rob came up to me and was like, man, hey, I'm Rob Niggins, who I like your nephew. Who. That's what has to happen. You know what I mean? And then for all that stretch of the time when Rob was going, I give him credit, man. That's what you have to do. Well, it took turn for my tenure when I got there in 2000 into 2007, 2008 season. When I had Trey, Earl, Toe, all that came from relationship. Randy, all of them was relationship. You know, them kids was ranked in the country. You know what I mean? So we knew the DCIA, the inner high. We was gonna win that. We had a national schedule. You know what I'm saying? We were playing other nationally ranked teams. I was hanging banners up in Dunbar the other day, putting up all them banners, man. And you know, you walk in the gym and it's nice to have all this local shit. You know what I mean? How many of them motherfuckers got that national shit in their gym? That's, to me, that's basketball. Them producing kids. And that's just been going on, like you say, since I was a baby. You know, when you start talking about Stacy in the 70s and Baby, Big Sky, Tyrone Gibson, Anthony Jones, man, that shit, it runs through the 70s, 80s, 90s, and then now, after a while, once you get your program established, the program will start recruiting itself. If Wilson continues to win, now kids gonna what? Gonna want to go there. You know what I mean? I knew I was going to Dunbar
just what you said.
6th grade, 7th grade. It wasn't, that's what it was. It was that simple. You know what I mean? I knew that I was at 6th grade, 7th grade going to games. I mean, that's where I was going. I knew that already. You know what I mean? It's just that now, and a lot comes with it, I'm sure, man. And I know from experience that, you know, people always ask, how come you ain't getting back into coaching? I said, man, a lot has to happen now. It's so different. All right, it's so different. First of all, accepting a job. All right. First of all, you gotta have good administration. Because if I can't get kids in there, I'm taking a job. I'm not taking dead end jobs. There's so many dead end jobs in the DCIA and other way. With the advantages they have in the charter schools and the public schools, they can bring anybody in they want. No restrictions, no anything. So we'll start there. And then once that happens,
so there's no restrictions. So you can bring whoever you want.
If the Gonzaga or anybody wants to bring a kid from anywhere they want, they have their own rules. Right. You understand what I'm saying? They have their own rules. Charter schools even better. You can bring a kid in anywhere you want, but with no restriction. DC has a restriction and a policy on what they do.
It goes back. Let me cut you off. It goes back to what you said though, because fuck all this bullshit. Back then, when you know what made the competition so competitive back then? Ain't nobody lived by that school back then. It wasn't nobody calling and like, he lived over there. I lived way on the other side of town and went to fucking way up in the
I look at it like this, bro.
Every team had a motherfucking team
if you're
you might find 3 motherfuckers that live in that neighborhood. To me, just to me,
Sure.
To be honest with you, that's what make that shit so better. You want the competition. You want the competition at a level where, you know what, I don't give a fuck where they live at, but it's making our conference look good, motherfucker.
But it was still within the rules, though, Bone. Don't get it wrong. Meaning, like, let's take for instance.
It's in the rules.
I know.
It's in the rules.
I know from my experience.
Bro,
Right?
it's in the rules. It's in the rules. It's the same. It's in the rules. But at the same time, it wasn't It wasn't so like meaningful to other coaches to be like, oh, we wanted that bump. Right. Greece wanted that bump against Coach and Rail, they won that bump.
100%.
Motherfucker from
100%.
won the Ocean Blue, they won that bump.
Absolutely. 100%.
It wasn't about where you lived at, because one thing
Nah.
it did, it kept it in a high.
But
it kept it
But
relative
don't think, but don't,
to be the best in the country.
But don't think they wasn't checking it.
I didn't say that. I didn't say they wasn't.
But what I'm saying with that is, within the rules at that time, and Coach, you could probably speak on this more. At that time, if I wanted to get a kid in, or Coach Mack or whoever wanted to get a kid in, it was a different set of standards. You had to get at that time special permission. Where administration, if I go to my administration and say, man, I want Bryce, the kid lives in DC, such a, all the principal had to do was approve it. Now, from what I understand, it's some type of law. It's completely different.
There's too much shit going on.
Which is completely different,
Wilson,
right?
look, Wilson has changed because of our enrollment. I mean, we got, and I, speaking to it because I actually work there. We got 1,900 kids,
Right.
And the next highest says on paper is either Blue with 1,100, but 1,100 kids don't go to school every day.
Sure.
Over there.
No bullshit.
Sure.
So and then Eastern got 1,000 now, but they started all the way over from freshmen. They got the new school, Ron Brown. They got a lot of kids, but for us, I mean, there is supposedly this waiting list that doesn't.
And that's
exist.
what I hear. Right. That's what I hear.
Doesn't
There's
exist.
a waiting.
Like, there's no lottery for
list.
Wilson. Like the lottery doesn't work.
Okay.
And a lot of people think it does. For Wilson,
That shit
it works.
going on. Yeah, that shit.
But if you look at, they may move the numbers around. They'll move the kids around and just maneuver them. And I mean, I see it all the time. But nobody ever comes off that waiting list. Like it's just not going to happen. And they've changed the boundaries 3 or 4 times.
So that's what it comes with me, bro. If I got a staff that's out there working, I'm gonna get kids.
But that's the whole thing about it. That's my point of saying, we can sit here all night and talk about the rules, right?
Nah, you still gotta go get the kids.
But at the same time, what about administration?
Yeah.
Not allowing certain shit and not fucking really believing in. That's what's bringing scholarships to your school.
That's what I would imagine.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so the onboarding. So that's what I'm saying. The onboarding, especially for your school, administrative wise, and you probably tied into it, has to be Trump tight, or that could be the sabotage before you even start.
You hear about
the onboarding of kids getting in that bitch.
The problem is, you hear about a good kid going to any school, somebody calling. And somebody,
that's my point.
That is always
that shit been going on for
that's always been. That ain't.
But you got
that's
people
my
in
point.
the DCIAA office.
That ain't. That's always been.
Because the wrong motherfuckers in the office,
yeah,
man.
Right. And that's
the wrong motherfuckers in the office.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
They
we ain't gonna sit shit. Come on, that's what the wrong motherfuckers in the office.
What you mean?
In the office that's making these motherfucking decisions on, that kid live. That shit been going on for years.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This isn't a new thing. But what I mean is to make the overall league competitive, right? Is what we're talking about, right?
Bro, let me say this.
I think with these rules, if
with these rules is bullshit.
With these rules, you can still get kids.
You can still kids
in your school, man.
You know what these rules about? You know what these rules about now? And this is no bullshit. These rules that they have now is about the coaches. They want to look good.
What do you mean?
It's like they acting like motherfuckers come to see them coach instead of coming to see the kids play. Back then, you can't name a fucking school that had a full roster, a 70% roster of motherfuckers in the area. So my whole thing is, it's a great thing because you're bringing talent to your conference to make it look good. Well, who gives a fuck? It's not about who got this. You got to get out there and do the same thing the next motherfucker doing.
Do the work.
You think Joe? We had the coolest fucking team that had 8 motherfuckers that ain't living nowhere near cool.
Man,
No. And I don't want to make this a show where where we're going at Hernandez for having a bomb ass team because guess what? He's supposed to have a bomb ass team because that's what that shit is all about. You get what I'm saying? So now it's like
you gotta coach them motherfuckers.
No, I ain't talking that. I ain't talking that part. What I'm saying is, it to me is great because it's bringing the fucking in-high back relevant to the country. When you got 3 or 4 motherfuckers in your team that's top 50, they from DC. They ain't from. They from DCIAA. They ain't from motherfucking the Malvern, Gonzaga, St. They from the goddamn DC public schools, which every other motherfucking coach they should be proud of that.
But the only problem with that, Bone, is 1 or 2 DCI teams. Back in the day, it's a lot of them. This is not good for the league, but you can't fault this man for doing what he's doing in his house.
That's my point.
That's not it. But what I mean is, my problem.
I agree.
My problem is,
when me and you talk that type of shit, I know what you capable of doing, and you gonna be like, look, I want to get this.
That's why you have to develop. It just there's no other way around it. In this era of basketball, it's not 88, 89 when you played. It's not 90, 93, 91. It's not 80s when you played. That era. Anybody thinking that
it never come back.
You're done.
It never come back.
You have to develop relationships in what's really running high school basketball right now, and that's AAU basketball. Simple, plain. If you can't get with that, you done lost already. Okay. We have some of the top AAU programs in the country around here. Yeah. If I walk in, me and Keith Stevens are cool. Knowing them, I'm a little better with Bruce. I know all them guys. I was a DC Assault guy. Kurz Malone was my man, is my man. All them guys, which is now permitted, but that don't mean I don't like Keith Stevens. It's just that
you get my man. But what
I'm saying,
I do. I'm a free agent.
I DJ. They cook out every year. You call me, you call all that. So, but what I'm saying is,
matter of fact, you know I'm your agent on that.
Yeah, my point, relationship. My point, Bone, relationship. So
and I'm your agent.
So what I mean is, so my point is this. When I go into Keith Stevens' practice, I ask him if I can come in the workouts, and same with Mike Sumner and Damon, whoever, okay? I know 9 times out of 10, they got plans for the top 3 kids. That's top 50. I ain't gonna get them. I don't even want them. But I'll take the 6 dudes, 7 dudes, a dude who has structure, who's been on that circle, understand. So when he comes to my school and plays in DCIA, then it'll happen. And then along the way, if a kid can't make it at Gonzaga, he can't make it at DeMatha, that's what the first person they're going to call. They know me since I was a child. They know what I represent. They know who I am. Man, send him over there to Roach, man. I know Roach will look after him. So. It's how that built that Dunbar for me. That's how I land a Earl Risby and who's top 50 in the country. That's how I land
your passion.
My passion. They know that already. They know that already. My kids are going to play hard.
No nonsense bullshit,
and the thing about these kids in this generation, and I learned this just from teaching school. I think it's a bad thing, but you have to deal with it how you have to deal with it. Okay, I was taught from my parents and people around me, from good coaches, is that because I don't like Kurt, don't mean I can't learn from Kurt. Okay, nowadays, if these kids don't respect you or think you know what you're talking about, you ain't gonna have their undivided attention, right? That's just how they operate, which is research. But that's what you're dealing with.
They don't do their research though.
But when you know what you're dealing with, you know how to get to them, and you know how to have them play for you. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? You know how to get them. What I was saying, names. I've been to like 4 different practices within the last 4 or 5 different practices in the last 5 years, where people are supposed to have practices, right? Kids were supposed to show up at certain times, right? I'm in these practices. This is like 4 or 5 schools in the city. Practice started at 2. You motherfuckers don't show up till 3:15. Just dumb shit like that, bro. Just stuff like that. It ain't got nothing to do with basketball. You get what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody on this panel even move that way, Joe.
You know what I mean?
So I get it.
We ain't do that.
We don't even move like that. It makes me sick.
I was too scared not to show up on time.
He's speaking facts.
I'm telling you what it is, but it starts there. Let alone teaching them how to pick and roll, open up towards the ball. Now that's way down the line.
Oh gosh, yo.
If any of these kids that I watch and when they're doing their tournament, because I'm sitting there playing and salute to the DCI, them people who are trying to do the best they can up there. I'm sitting up there. Don't know none of these kids. Never seen this team. Never seen Rock. Never seen none of these kids. I'm sitting up there with a basketball IQ watching. They think I'm just the DJ, right? I'm just watching the game, right? I'm looking at some of that, and I'm saying to myself, I know that coach know this. But if you looked out on the floor, Joe the fan would be looking like, man, he ain't teaching them kids nothing.
It always goes. It's like the coach.
Yeah, they'll just think it's the coach when really that's not always the case. Mm-hmm. In some circumstances, it is. But what I mean is, it's more to it, as he explained, getting out here coaching this generation of kids. That's why every time I see these dudes, they'll tell you now, I say, God bless y'all.
Yeah, don't bullshit.
Because it don't start on the floor. It don't start on the floor with these jokers. These jokers is way beyond, because I used to tell them, if you become a better young man, you'll become a better basketball player. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's that type of thing. So now, because the league is down so much, in my opinion, is guys aren't going out to get players. Find out within them rules how I can get some jokers to my school. You ain't working. Everybody on staff, everybody look good. They got their gear on and all that. I don't care nothing about none of that. I don't care nothing about no shoe deals, no motherfucking Under Armour. Motherfucker, if you got run up rubber under the bottom, we gonna rent. Everybody too caught up in everything else, right?
I always had a motto where I wanted assistant coaches that was like Oscar on Sesame Street, jumping out of trash cans at the game. And this motherfucker everywhere, he coming up from under the bleachers. Yeah, I want you every motherfucker with it. Because I'm going to be everywhere. So we gotta be spread this shit out.
If you're
committed
and trying to win.
Dog, look, my man Xavier Joyner, always, we took this shit. I always had the motto, man. Dedication plus discipline equals success, Joe. If you ain't dedicated to some shit, you can't be successful, Joe. On the flip side, find me somebody that's dedicated and disciplined to something that's unsuccessful. It's a fucking oxymoron. It can't happen, yo.
And the question I want to ask you, Hernandez, going through that situation, like, you know, through when motherfuckers like, oh, he got the twins. That situation, oh man, this happened, that happened. How are you dealing with that mentally when you got motherfuckers like, oh, how you get them over there? Or why they go to Wilson? How did you deal with that mentally, and what was your mindset on getting your mind like, look, man, I'm just gonna focus on what I got, fuck what they saying, and this and that.
So I mean, with that whole situation, man, I was actually out of town on an AAU trip. Like, just it's like my kids travel, I'm going with you. Like, I'm gonna make sure I support you, and so we can build our relationship. So I'm out on a trip, and I get the message that I can't go back to work. I don't know why, talking to me about whatever. So I'm just out, man, and you know, it was a tough situation because over some basketball stuff, they tried to take my job. You know what I mean? It was my real job, like working with the kids.
That's first.
That was first. That's to me. That's first.
Yeah, always first.
Extracurricular stuff.
Yeah, I can dig that.
So, you know, being out, not knowing whether I'm coming back or not for 4 months. I was out for 4 months, from April to August. And, you know, watching the internet, watching what people saying. And, you know, it's tough to sit there and not say anything. I haven't said a word about it at all. And people still think, you know, I walk in gyms and people still say stuff. But it don't matter to me because I know what the truth is. I know what happened. I know I'm the only person that knows everything that went on, including how it went down, like the whole 9 yards. Like, and you know, to sit here now, I'm blessed to be back. You know, to be able to help those kids. It wasn't easy. Let me tell you that. It was the hardest thing probably I ever had to do, because to not know if you get another paycheck, you know, and you got, you know, responsibilities. That was kind of the first thing that was on my mind. You know, and then I went crazy. You know, I'm sitting in the house every day, like, what the hell am I supposed to do? You know, every day, and
fish out of water.
It just was a mess, man. Just because, you know, when something like that happens, and you know, when you start winning, I guess when you start winning, I've seen it before. I've seen it at other schools when they start winning and kids want to flock to those schools. I mean, that means you doing your job. Like, you doing your job. I mean, you can't, in DC, you can't even use the word recruiting. Like, you can't say it.
You can't even say this.
No. So, you know, we've been blessed. I've been blessed to be at Wilson, you know, and I sell my school to the, you know, the Deal kids and those guys. And, you know, we do a lot of social media stuff that, you know, kind of puts us out there a lot in the limelight. But just to get back to that whole, situation, and it's still going on. It's not over. It's like I'm still dealing with it, internally, with central office and this and that. And it's a lot of legal things behind it, so I can't really say too much about it. But it's a blessing to be back, and it was very scary at one point, like because I have a 3-year-old son. And
you got a livelihood, man. It's more than coaching basketball.
It's more than coaching, and the only reason, to be honest, I came back is because I love what I do. Like, I could have just gave it up. Like, when it starts to get to that point where it affects your livelihood, you got to think of something. You got to start doing something else. But came back because the kids needed me. Like, the kids, not just the basketball kids. Like, I'm talking about kids that need help supporting graduating. Like, I touch a lot more. I run all the programs, the academic enrichment programs at the school, and I'm in charge of making sure kids are in their classes, like all the classes they need to graduate. So my job is bigger than that, and it kind of hurt a lot to be out, but it was very tough, man. It was very tough. The newspaper, USA Today get a hold of it. Washington Post put out a story, don't have no information, just putting out a story. Said they talked to me, it ain't happened. But they put out a story. Now you're talking about something being a small DC, DC is DC, but being in DC, now you're talking about something nationally. People calling me from California talking about what's this, and I'm like, what? This is something should be here, And then it doesn't help when you don't have the support of your central office. Like, I will not even say my administration, because I believe they supported me. But the issue with all of this is, we've had 4 athletic directors in the city since I've been here.
In a few years.
And that's not good.
That's a revolving door, yo.
That's terrible.
Somebody told me, when the website of the DCIAA is not functioning right, like, you can't go there and get any information. Where's the game at? Like, where the games at? Like, that tells me that there's a bigger issue, and DC basketball is not going to get better.
The dispensary, that's what he got. Yeah.
But that's the whole thing about it, bro.
Dispensary, Joe.
That's the whole thing about it. See, I agree with him totally, because I don't want to always get caught and keep saying back in the day when we were playing, but at the same time, I catch myself always saying it because they cared about what we were doing, and they made sure we were good, meaning they came to the games, supported, alumni, you know what I'm saying? They had school spirit. The administrator knew that if they cared about what these athletes doing, basketball, football, it don't even matter. They're bringing scholarships to that school. So that principal, all y'all looking good. They cared about that shit. They cared about your next meal. They knew you name by name. It's like now they don't even know the fuck on the teams no more. You play basketball. What's your name? We was going by our visual appearance.
No disrespect.
Your person knew the fuck you was. So you ain't never going to
like basketball, right?
Your person knew.
You know what I mean? That's the difference.
Think about that. That's Lorenzo that played.
Hey, but now
they were our tutors on.
But now
when we was going to last.
Hoops is like
in your hotel room, or meet you down in the lobby, in the conference room with the books right there, making sure.
His boxing,
that's crazy.
All them
they treat basketball just like, and no disrespect, they treat basketball just like lacrosse and fucking field hockey and all that other shit. That's what it is, you know?
No, but I'm saying
interest in the shit. They're not even invested in it like how they were back then. Just with hoops.
People were strong back then, though.
But even what I'm saying, just with the hoops.
No, I agree with you. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with you. I'm just saying in general.
You know what I'm saying?
Them back, Joe, they was like, especially when you winning.
And they want you to succeed, man.
You got your shit going on.
Yeah, they was on your side.
Roach, you're a national championship team.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so.
But see, at that time when we were ranked 4th in the country, right? National we went 40-1. We went to USA Basketball Suns, we won gold medal, all that team, okay. But at that time, like you said, all that whole administration there at Dunbar were DC people. Like, meaning
they cared about.
They support. They told Mac this.
They was from here.
This is what they told Mac. Mac will say this to you right now. Miss Russo told Mac, look, the
Happy
program,
late birthday, Coach Mac.
yeah, the program is your program, all right? I don't want to be on the news, and I don't want to be
You handle the shit.
just handle everything. So they trusted that he was going to do the right thing. You know what I mean? It was times from the first, from November to January, we weren't even in DC. We were playing in 5 or 6 national tournaments at that time. You know what I mean? National tournaments at that time. You know what I mean? We were playing a national schedule. But what happened with that is Coach did the work to get the personnel in there to have a dominant team that way. You get what I'm saying? So my thing still goes back to if you have to have a situation where your administration is helping you get kids in that school, man. If that ain't happening, you're not going to win consistently, man. And I don't know the rules per se because I've been out of it so long on how that happens. I know you just had a situation with the Twins for whatever reasons. The DCIA said that they were eligible to play.
Right.
So whatever you did in their eyes was you did the right steps or made the right moves. Whatever that is, people can't be mad at that. They can be mad at that, but so be it. Then if you did it, if Hernandez did it, and figure out what he did, and if you need to get some players in there, you do the same thing. You get what I'm saying? You don't scar a guy for winning because he did the right thing according to DCIA's ruling. You see what I'm saying? If the front office cleared those kids to play, then they cleared them. They must have did the right thing to get them kids cleared to play. It's that simple. With me, because we grew up the way we did in this basketball world, ain't no hating. You make your stuff stronger to compete. You get what I'm saying? That's just how I look at it.
You know, I want to ask a question. Like, so, from your experience, like, because I lived in Philly for a lot. I lived in Philly for 17 years, right? So, obviously, I went there to college, but I was vested in the high school players and shit a lot, especially kids that we recruited. Would you think it's very similar? Now, in your experience, you've been here 11 years. Anaheim, DC versus basically Philly is some rough ass shit too. Anaheim, like it ain't cute. How would you compare, I guess, your high school experience, Overbrook, just the whole Philly shit, versus how the Anaheim is and the style of play? I guess is it similar? Is it different?
I mean, it's to me. I mean, the pub up there is. It's the talent is all over. Like it is bigger. It's bigger than DC. I mean, it's only what? I mean, some years, some schools in DC don't even have a varsity team, which is mind-boggling to me. But what I see.
Let me go back. What you said? What's bigger than DC?
So the Philadelphia Public League.
Or the public
league? Yeah, the public league. Like it's not basketball. Just in general. I'm just talking about like how many schools.
Okay, I just want to because I'm gonna defend my motherfucking city.
He said
I went to Overbrook, where Will Chamberlain went there and Malik Rose. So I went there, and when I was playing.
Will Smith?
Yeah, Will Smith. Come on. We recruited for ourselves. Like, nowadays, no kid that I've ever coached is going to go get another kid to come play with him because they're selfish now. Like, they don't want to be out.
They want that bump. They want bump.
But, we had guys in Philly, like, we had guys from all over the city. Like, it was way different. We had guys from the north, we had guys from the south, and they used to come all the way up to Brook.
For real.
Just to hoop. And it's been like that for a while. It's changed now. Like the laws in Philly are way different now. From what I hear, I haven't been back in so long, but I'm looking at how they treating one of the kids that's in the Catholic League that transferred to Oak Hill and came back, and his last game is in the PCL Championship, which is the private school league. So he can't even play in the States because he transferred to Oak Hill and came back.
That's some bullshit.
But that's in Philly. So here, I mean, it's different because each year it's never been 5 or 6 teams. Since I've been here 11 years, it's never been 5 or 6 teams that are good. It's been 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Consistently.
I agree.
When you start? What year?
2009. 2008.
I totally agree with you on that.
And I'm trying to figure out how to change it, man. Like these middle schools are loaded with kids that can
That's
play.
crazy, yo.
But we let the guys come in, slip in because we don't do our. And this is no disrespect to anybody that's a coach. We don't do a great job at getting in these middle schools that are supposedly.
I just said it. Nobody's working.
Nobody's doing it.
Nobody's working, man. At the end of the day,
Full circle.
at the end of the day, when I came up, Coach Mo was working. Truhan was working. That's the same dudes I had on my roster when I started.
But let me ask you a question.
Them dudes working.
I want to ask you a question about that.
In the 7th grade, to get them recruited to go to this.
So if you're the head coach at Anacostia, right? What are you offering?
Okay.
I'm planning the PYBL.
Okay.
On the top middle school players in the area.
Okay.
You the coach at Anacostia. Mike Jones called me. Steve Turner called me.
Okay.
You Anacostia.
Hold on. Let me ask him.
Anacostia High School.
Okay.
I guess it's good. I bet you it's a great answer.
What you got to offer me?
Okay. I'm not gonna get that kid. Okay, hold up, Ricky. I'm not gonna get that kid. Not right now. All right, because that kid, if those schools are offering him, then he's listen to me. Hear me out. Let me answer.
But the kid on the DeMatha JV is not necessarily that kid.
Hear me out.
Not necessarily like that.
Hear me out. This is what's gonna happen, Rick, because I lived it. I took a visit to DeMatha with the kid, the white boy who got paralyzed, and that's when I was coming out of Turl Junior High School. All right, but I just had a brother who was already at Dawn. Was like, you already know where you're going. But I wanted to take visit. Okay, this is what happens. If all of those schools want this kid, okay, those are good major programs in this area and have been for years. So this kid must be the elite of where he is. All right, I'm not gonna get him right now. All right, but if I get the dude who's alluring him, and I start winning, and my program starts winning, then it'll recruit itself at that point. Nobody needs to recruit that dude. Coach K needs to find out if that mother want to come to do. That's all he needs to do because the program now has established itself. Yeah. But you can't start where you're talking from. That's what everybody's trying to do.
But that's not what I'm saying. But that's not what I'm saying. But the private schools don't just recruit the top kids. They got 50, 60 kids in their program. All 60 of them
because
kids.
The program, like I said, recruits itself.
Right, but my general point is, you have to have something. But it is. But what I'm saying is,
kids are white.
Everybody ain't gonna do that.
That's real shit, though.
No, but this is what
happening every day.
No, but this is where I'm coming.
Freshman team.
But this is where I'm coming. This is where I'm coming from.
Man,
Also,
this
because one thing that in the 80s and 90s that you guys weren't recruiting against was charter schools. Like but let me finish. Like if as a parent, right, and I look at opportunity, those charter schools have some academic opportunity the public schools don't have. So so my only point, like Seed, I think is like a boarding school, right? So like you're recruiting against different. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is those dynamics make it harder under any circumstance to consider an Anacostia or a Dunbar because one thing you had when you played was at that time Coolidge and Dunbar had a pedigree. I saw Brian Chase. I saw Trey Kelly. Right,
but you got to build up to that.
But Dunbar had it for 30 years. Coolidge had it for 30 years though.
What happened? What you saying now? They got to compete with all these other
dynamics.
Right? Okay, he's sure enough. But guess what?
Great conversation, baby.
Everybody is not going to get them kids, right? The top echelon kid. Give me what I'm telling you right now. The DCIA has to do right now. All right, this is my suggestion to all them coaches in there. All right, Rick, this is my suggestion. You're not going to get the top kids. All right. You're going to have to get them kids right at the middle, coach them up, get them better. Once you get them kids and now they reach the level by the time they seniors and juniors, it's the same level of them kids that didn't want to come, and then you start kicking their ass in summer leagues and shit like that. It changes.
But guess what those kids guess what those kids do when they get better? They roll.
No, not
they don't stay at Anacostia. They don't stay at Dunbar. They don't
none
stay
of
at
my kids roll.
But just a different situation, though.
That got something to do with you.
Let me say something.
That depends on you, Rick.
And that's just what I'm
Depends on
saying.
who you are.
It's about
kids wanted to play for me.
It's about you.
They want to play for coaches.
Hold up,
kids love you. They want to play for you, man.
Let me say this. I get both sides. I get both y'all point. That what I'm getting out of this and what I know and I've seen that shit. My whole thing is, once you sell your program to a kid or a parent, it's up to you to keep that motherfucker there.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is the way you run your program.
And then parents talk, Rick.
The way you run your program.
Your kid went there. How
you
did
can
he
deal.
do
You
that?
can deal with. I get what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. And hold on, Roach. And I get what he's saying.
Because it's the parents too.
It's about hold on, Johnny. It's about you selling what you. That shit got to be right to the motherfuckers to stay and not to lose them. Because I'm a believer in this. If you can fucking play, you can play.
My point.
You can go to fucking Duke or you go to Bowie State. It don't matter.
Because they're not recruiting from high school no more, Rick. It ain't about that. They recruit on the circuit now, right?
Well, that's the other dynamic I was going to say was the other half of that. It's his academics. So Anacostia and Ballou, kids aren't eligible. So college coaches in there, I can tell you 10 Division I coaches in the 100-mile area that'll tell you I don't recruit public school kids.
Okay.
Because they don't get grades.
So you have to change that.
But what I'm
his
saying
shit a little different.
But more so what I'm saying
That's
is
the only difference.
What you have to do to rebuild an
I'm saying there's a difference from what he's saying versus some of the other schools.
Let's keep this shit real. No. Let's get your realness about. Fuck all that bullshit about the public. If you can play, you go to
play
fuck
anyway.
But Rick is also.
I agree with him. I agree with him totally. Only thing I'm saying on the flip side of that shit, you can go to motherfucking school rent a corner. Right? If you can play, they gonna get you in that motherfucking school. Now we can sit here all day long and it'll be a fucking top 3,000 list of motherfuckers you can say how you get in that school. And we talking about the biggest schools in the country.
Right.
When it comes to not just basketball, football, it don't matter. We can sit there all day and say hype in the school.
You still got to
If you can fucking work.
If you work as a motherfucker,
man, y'all can say what y'all
I hear what you said.
Let me finish.
Like everybody ain't going to fucking Duke. Everybody ain't going to Vanderbilt, Joe. Everybody ain't going to Drake, nigga. Drake is a smart. Like
Can I finish?
I mean,
Can I finish?
I dig what you're saying. Wilson's different.
Damn.
Wilson and Bannon is different than fucking.
Can I finish?
I got you.
I'm a public school motherfucker.
I'm a public school motherfucker.
Ain't no motherfucking way motherfucker can say this motherfucker went to Drake. Oh, then shake it. Chop the bullshit.
That's a smart ass school.
No, that's what I'm saying. And I ain't saying no.
But you're not dumb though.
Right. No.
It's you.
No, I'm
That
saying
ain't
no.
cool,
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's dumb. A lot of motherfuckers don't know that it's not that hard to get in them schools when your athletic talent is what it is. That's what the fuck I'm trying to say.
Duke is a prime example of that.
Some of these academic schools are way already with academics as far as getting them schools because it don't fucking matter.
I got
you gonna get in them motherfuckers.
Anyway.
We can name a list. We can name a list. We can name a list. So whatever. No. They ain't gotta be dumb. No. See now you getting outside. You getting outside my point.
No disrespect.
You ain't gotta be dumb. That don't mean you dumb, but you not meeting them credentials that people think that you have to get in them high academic schools. That's what's so fucked up about these kids are not getting no money off this shit. They bringing money to these motherfucking high class academic schools. You got look at the Big East. John Thompson and Boeheim turned that motherfucker into a motherfucker. You would think that like back in the day. You gotta think Snoop and them thought that was a black school. Georgetown. That's all they see on TV. Black motherfuckers playing basketball at Georgetown and they went there again. Come on now. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. If you're an average motherfucker, graduate from high school, you trying to get to Georgetown, that's some bullshit. You're not getting in.
Same with
man, get the fuck out of here. Your talent is getting you them schools, man. We're not gonna sugarcoat this shit. We are not gonna sugarcoat this shit.
Well, like Ricky was saying,
come on, man. It is what it is with this shit. We respect. You know what? We give these big time academic schools too much fucking respect because man, you gotta be this. No, that's bullshit. They get who they want in the motherfucking schools. So y'all can sit and talk all that bullshit y'all want. What I'm saying is, it is what it is with that shit. So don't you ain't gotta be dumb and fuck that.
No.
These schools get who the fuck they want when they want.
But
so that shit
but at
bullshit.
the end of the day, like Rick say, them schools, the DeMarcus and Gonzagas and all these private schools are not going to get all of these kids. They're not going to get it. Okay, so now that's where I developed my relationship with them kids. Where they playing AAUs? Who got some influence with them? That's when you develop your relationship. As coaches, you got to work, man.
Right.
But
all I'm saying is, as a parent in this generation, an idea, a Thurgood Marshall just might look like a better situation than an Anacostia.
Then you're gonna have the situation too, where when they get in that school, hold up, Bone. When they get in that school and realize that them academics mean, a lot of them can't.
So you think idea Thurgood Marshall is different than Anacostia?
The way you sell
that shit ain't no fucking different.
The way you sell the way you sell the programs to a parent, what an administrator, if you bring a kid the idea, the programs they have, like charter school, like the public policies and programs like that, the way you can sell them to a parent is a lot different than trying to sell a parent. I'm sending my kid in a costume. What it might be when you get there is something totally different. I'm not disagreeing on that.
I agree. No,
but when you sit down with a parent and you're saying, "Am I going to send my kid to Anacostia, Ballou, or Thurgood Marshall, or Friendship Tech?" I can. You can sell Friendship Tech and Thurgood on the academic side. Sell it to a parent a lot easier than Anacostia.
What did you know it's based on? You know what all this shit based on? We're basing it. I'm thinking the conversation's coming from the athlete itself, going to somewhere, to a certain school. Boom. That shit. I'm gonna tell you something. All that, this school, that school. I'm gonna tell you something. You know who make decisions on them schools? Them AAU programs. They can send them where the fuck they want.
And
the constantly.
This damn
bullshit we talking right now. It ain't no difference between no fucking and no Thurgood Marshall. And it depends on real. That's the real. It depends on who's coaching. You get the same type of shit.
It depends on who's coaching.
It depends on the AAU coach.
AAU's gonna send them to the bone. Whether you gonna send them to
my program, Bryson, you coach at
you gonna send them to another.
Go to Bryson.
I'll send them up there.
You coach at Wilson. Send them up. Come on, Joe.
I had a prime example of that.
That's what it is.
Let's take Randy Hampton.
And still with the Maryland.
Let's take one of my kids.
And still with the Maryland. And still with the Maryland.
Let's take Randy Hampton, bro. Let's take
Come on,
Randy
Joe.
Hampton. Randy Hampton.
We ain't gonna do that.
Let's take a kid like Randy Hampton, right? Academically, he's a CPA right now. This kid is a CPA right now. His mother, his parents, his mother is a professor up at Howard. His father is a CPA. This kid comes from a very, very, very good family structure. All right. Left him out and got in trouble for whatever reason. Came to Dunbar, excelled in Dunbar. He ended up boosting the GPA, not with just his, helping kids with their work, made them better students. So now guess what his mom did? Told another mom, and now I started getting more kids that I wasn't even thinking I could get. So Rick, it's about your coaching staff, to my opinion. It's about what you're selling and how you can go. Somebody can go to Anacostia and change that whole culture, bro. But what he go to change the whole culture?
He did though.
He just did it.
Just being in the league, man.
It's administrative first though.
It is. It's like if you don't have the support of the administration,
you fucked over.
You all the way fucking around.
But what I look at is not the argument is a great argument, but I'm looking at, and this is like no disrespect to other schools, but Wilson academically we're pretty sound, right?
Yep.
But AC Wilson's football program, like they do an excellent job, but the person selling it selling the school, like. He's doing a damn good job to get those. Like these are high major Division I kids for football,
right?
And so
there's a pedigree,
right? There's a pedigree, and
been good forever.
You look at Ballou football. You look at not only football because football seems to have more kids than basketball right now. You know their league is pretty good. But I think at the end of the day, it's the person that's sitting behind selling all of it. Like. If you put a good guy in Anacostia,
no doubt,
and I think there will be a good guy coming up. It will because I know the principal, the new principal.
Yeah, good dude, Rock. That's my man. That's my man.
Like,
where's this, Rick?
Rock
at Anacostia, and he's already making strides to change the academics, and that's important what the public sees, because all the public see, you think about Anacostia. If I wasn't from here, do kids want to go to school every day?
Right. Baloo same thing. Yeah.
And so I think with the right person in any of these programs in DCIAA, it can be so. I'm looking at why School Without Walls or Banneker don't have the best 2 teams in the league.
Thank you. What you say? If we're talking about academics,
if
we're basing on academics, why the fuck y'all fucking telling me why? Oh, so I can't send my kid to Banneker and play with Wilson or play with fucking Anacostia, because a few years ago you can send your kid to Banneker. So what I'm saying, so if we're really basing it on academics, that's bullshit to me.
It is.
You get what I'm saying? So don't come at me with that bullshit.
Right.
That shit is about where these motherfucking parents get caught up in.
But I think we're
having 2 different conversations.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Rick. I'm not disagreeing with him.
What the
you talking about sales.
But you also talking about the reality. But he's talking about the reality of it.
But you can sell a public school kid, a public school parent, to say, you know what? He can go to Banneker school, but he can come in the conference play basketball. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. These coaches aren't doing that. So my whole thing is, if I'm a coach for Banneker Baloo, it don't matter to me in DC public schools. If Banneker is a school where I can say my son I'm all about academics, he gonna get that education right there, but he can play with any motherfucking school in the city.
That's crazy.
Why not use it as a tool if you're a fucking head coach anywhere in the fucking city?
And that's why I say it goes
That's
back to
bullshit
who's
to me.
running the program.
Come on, Joe. So don't come at me with that
We had a kid,
bullshit.
I'm gonna tell you this, boy, and that's funny. We had a kid from Banneker play on that third.
Yeah, come on, Joe. To me, that don't make no sense.
But the academics at Banneker are real.
Sure.
That don't mean the parents want.
No. What I'm saying,
you got to be a bad motherfucker in the classroom to go to Banneker.
I get that.
That's not the parents I'm talking about.
I get
I'm
that.
I'm talking about if you lay down Anacostia versus Idea. Let's use that for an example.
But how many are these kids we're talking about that's bomb students that's like that
They're not.
on the court that can be acceptable?
Well, they're not. But
we ain't talking about going to sit.
We're
talking about getting a kid in a situation.
Let's put it this way.
That's all I'm saying.
Friendship Tech has a good program, right? Anacostia doesn't. How far are they apart? Not far, right? Why is that?
You mean good program?
Friendship Tech just won the last 2 years won the chip, right? Anacostia can barely fill a team.
With no disrespect to any of them coaches, again, Rick, I'm just telling you my approach to where I've seen it work because I lived it. Meaning my relationship with AAU coaches, my relationship once I get a kid in my custody, all right? I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to recruit the kind of kid, like he just said, everybody can't play for Roach. I'm going to recruit them kids that I know going to play. That's what I've lost kids because I wasn't their style of coach. They couldn't take. So I don't want that kid to play for me. You get what I'm saying? He can't play with me. That's cool. That's fine. Everybody can't play with Coach K. Everybody can't play for Bill Self. That's cool. Just because they talented. But what I'm saying to you is, with a lot of work, man, I've seen coaches in my day as a child and as an adult where coaches got out and worked. You can make a kid who has some potential to play just as good as some of them jokers that can already play. When they left middle school. It's that simple. I know what I can do for a kid. You get what I'm saying? And I know if I don't have the sources, I'm gonna call a Bone in my gym. I'm gonna call Bryce in my gym to help that. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use all my resources. And if you're not in this basketball bubble, in this DMV, you're not gonna win consistently. It's that simple. It has off to a dude who's coming from out of town, come here and win. And he ain't in the bubble. He trying to get in, do what he's supposed to do. I can't hate on that.
That was my
You
whole
can't
thing.
hate on that, right?
That was my whole thing with him. I'm like, this motherfucker came in our motherfucking neighborhood and said, y'all could have did the same shit I'm doing.
You can straighten it and compete.
I'm talking real shit. That's what I'm saying. Real. To save this bullshit ass basketball, we going to. So now, Wilson is not only dominant with the DCIAA, they're dominant in the fucking DMV.
And nationally too.
And again, credit.
And guess what?
And again, credit to
Everybody
Rob.
opportunity to do that.
And again, credit to Rob. Again, I don't want to take no credit from Rob. Rob has been in the championship 9 times. I don't credit that because he's been working. I've had conversations with dudes I know where Rob is walking into practice. And, so credit to him. I'm not saying just because Wilson's won the last 2 years. You get what I'm saying? But what we're saying, what I'm looking at is the overall league. And there was times when I was coach, you had Hanif. Hanif know the game. I was in dog fights with Cadoza every year, Joe. Was Keith up at Springam. Dudes who products who know the game. I was in dog fights with them dudes. With good teams, Joe. I was in dog fights with these dudes. Because them dudes were basketball dudes.
But another thing that I think another thing.
Von Jones. I was in wars with Von Jones at Coolidge.
When you talk about
Rob Nickens was at time just stop. So Mitch Cradle was there. So these was dudes who were coached, but we don't. From what I understand, again, I don't know the coaches.
But it's one thing that kind of happened, and this person to look at the history of the DCIAA. I think one thing that more so you talk about being accepted, it's more so if you look at Trey at HD and you at Wilson, they don't have a history. So like when you come in and do something that's never been really done before, it can create like what is he doing that wasn't done 40 years ago. That's just kind of how this city is, and I deal with it myself on certain things. You know what I'm saying? So like Wilson is winning championships now. HD Wilson winning championship. Theodore Roach, when Rob,
that's the world we live in.
When Rob,
I get that part. What I'm saying for us to not be. I'm gonna say this.
Fuck that shit.
I don't think, and it's just my opinion. I don't think like I'm gonna go back to Jodine from Dunbar, Mr. Wilson. I can go back to all them, Mr. Ken from Eastern, rest in peace. But all them, I can go back to them. They wasn't hating on each other. Because guess what? I'm gonna tell you what they wasn't. I'm gonna tell you what they wasn't. I'm gonna tell you what they wasn't. They were doing the same shit.
Yeah, but the other people, but it was.
They were trying to get the same.
It was, but it was so much talent.
They were going out. They were going out and getting the same motherfuckers that everybody wanted.
You hear what Rick just said?
It was a lot of motherfuckers playing basketball.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
If I don't get Craig Sheldon, we get James Ratcliffe.
Right.
I got Stacey Rob.
That's my point.
I got Baby.
That's my point. They were going to get players. They wasn't worried about where them motherfuckers lived at. They look, this is business. We got to get the best motherfuckers. Yeah, so you know what? If you get Anthony Jones, I'm gonna get Billy Martin. if you get motherfucking Kevin Scarborough,
like you just said,
it's not that. It's too.
But guess what? It came back to this. It started with administration. Mr. Campbell from Coolidge, them motherfuckers, them principals back then, they knew what.
So your argument. Let me make sure I understand your argument, Bone. Your argument is you believe, and again, salute to the DCIA, the administration that's running the actual league. All right, I know them, bro. I know the things that they're doing or trying to get done. So salute to them. What you're saying is rules need to be changed in order to be able to get any player in the city. Is what you're saying? They need to open the floodgates.
The rules out of rules because we was doing that shit back then.
But what he just said was different, right? You saying it's different again?
It's different. This shit is the same.
Different. They just try to.
No. I'm gonna tell you what makes it. I'm gonna tell you what makes it. What makes people say it's different because you know what? Because the talent level is watered down. What I'm saying is.
Right.
Coaches, talent level meaning players and coaches. Yeah. Companionship, dedication, and all. This shit starts with coaches.
So few guys.
You got motherfuckers right now just, man, I'm the head coach of such. Don't even matter to me. Yeah. I'm gonna get this motherfucker live around the corner. I'm gonna work with that. Yeah. Them niggas ain't going out. They not, back in the day, niggas at your middle school, your junior high school games. Like they college coach, you see that motherfucker. You got Coach Reynolds on that motherfucker.
Let me ask you a question. This is not
with little school shit on, and you like shit.
And this is not for you. This is not for you to single out anybody. I got a question for you on my Bo. It's not to single out anything. Top to bottom, in your opinion, all right. How many teams in the DCIA now?
14.
Okay, 14. All right. In your opinion, out of 14, a percentage, how many you think legit coaches in that league, meaning who truly understand concept schemes, who get it. You know, I mean, I want you to name names, but just a percentage out of 14.
High basketball.
Out of 14,
IQ,
what kind of percentage will you get them as far as them being just volunteers, devoting their time? Because that's important too. I'm not going to knock a guy for trying to do something. That's just a good question.
Hey, keep it real. Keep it real.
And you don't have to name names. It's 14 teams, so you're just doing it as a whole, including yourself. You're putting yourself in the back because you're a part of that league. You know what I mean?
I mean, when I look at the league, I mean, there are some really good coaches, and I watch what they do. They just don't. I think some coaches get some parts of it, like the parts, like to come to a game and get ready to coach, like just be a coach. And then, but there's so many other parts for me.
Too many.
Like I'm a psychology guy. Like I try to my whole thing about it is when I took it over is build my brand. Like
that was your approach, right? That was the approach you took. You explained it earlier. You know what I mean? How you that was your approach. So what I'm saying is from top to bottom right now, if you in 100 is being, man, every coach that we got in there, man, top shelf, you know, out of 14 total. 70%. You know what I mean? You say 70% of them are really good coaches, 70% out of 100.
Nah,
no?
Maybe 60%.
Maybe 60, a little over half.
But that's a little.
So that means like 8 coaches and 6 or some shit.
But that's a little. But that's a little unfair question. Only because.
It says unfair.
Only because of the stigma of the end at this point. This is what I'm saying. Let me explain to you how this generation works, right? And you know, so Trey Kelly graduated 2003. I was a sophomore.
Sure.
Right. Those guys that were born when he was in school are now like juniors, right? They have no concept of inner high basketball. See that? See, because number one, it's not documented, which is why I'm huge on what I talk about. Nobody's seen this shit. Okay. We just talk about it in settings like this. But number two, they don't remember them guys. They don't hear about them guys. They don't know about them guys. So like, so for a coach to come into an Anacostia or Ballou or Cardoza, they have to create a culture, and it's harder to do it when less people are really playing the sport. Like, it's not like you can just go to it. I remember when I played with my dad when I was young, like in leagues and stuff. It would be high school coaches at them leagues just hanging out or playing. Like, I played against one assistant coach you had all the time. Mm-hmm. He knew what was going on. Unless you're in like AAU practices or you don't really like. It's not there. It's not a lot. It's not a lot of pickings, right? Like you're not going to walk into.
Is it not there, Ricky, or they're not going to the place where it's there?
But it's less places to go. Like what Kurt was talking about was.
So like, that shut up. To me, that should make it easy. If there's 5 places, if you got a takeover practice, you got a premier practice. If those are the places, only a few, then that's where I'm going.
But it's 14 in the high schools, and then about
I don't care.
30.
I don't care about where he going to go.
But you're talking about
we're gonna be in there together.
Right, but you're talking about the top bottom of the league. That's what I'm saying. So like if let's say you take over Cardoza, right? Charlie Moe was there. Mm-hmm. Like, he busts his ass just to get the program to any type of stability.
Right.
Like, that's a whole nother level to start from than walking into Dunbar behind McLeese. You know what I'm saying? Like that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like who wants to do that?
Well, that's part of this thing. That's like a dude getting fired. That's like a dude getting fired from a major D1 college, right? And now he has to go. Let's take Todd Bozeman. You dude that goes from California with Jason Kidd. Now he's at Morgan with all this dude that we know that he loves him to death. So we're not talking about him. We love him to death. Okay. Right. Okay. If you choose to take that job, you know it comes with that job. He knows the work that it's going to take to get that, Rick. That's what I'm telling you. When you take these jobs, you can't just take them just to see you coach.
What I'm saying is, it's not a lot of guys to see your future in that route.
But that's what you have to.
Sometimes you trick your mind into what level you on too, though. And
but
I mean, it's like, you know how you trick your mind. It's like I like it like to the Maryland Juco. I was in the Maryland Juco for a lot of years, right?
Right.
And to a certain level, when I'm in that shit, and there might be 2 people to stand, that shit I was at Duke. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, even if I'm at Cardoza, that might be somebody's Duke. You know what I'm saying? So it depends. It's still your disposition on how.
And the thing about it is, like I was telling Bone, Rick,
you did what I'm saying?
Every DC public school we have got tradition, buddy.
Mm-hmm. But that don't mean shit to them kids, man. I deal with that personally. It means nothing to them.
You have to figure out how it does. Like what I just did. Them kids at Dunbar. I took it upon myself. I'm no longer in the program. I love war. They're my brothers. I went to war with them dudes who up there coaching them. Jerm, all them guys. Tiffany, everybody, okay? It was a chance where we worked together to put them bands in. As them kids was coming into practice, man, they was like, oh, whoa, the assistant principal, nobody knew. But I took it upon myself, and Jerm took to say, Roach, man, can you come do? Meaning you have to change it. You can't, if you keep putting excuses up. And Acosta got a tradition. Mike Pye and Davis, dudes were studs. Coolidge, Kurt Smith, Tree, Wilson.
These guys don't care about that, man.
Greg Jones
less about that.
Millennial
Do you know?
You got history in all of them schools.
And this out
So let's be real. Let's be real. You have enough team. Who there cares who Chris Cheeks is? Bad motherfucker. I know all about it. Who in your program cares? Forget cares.
That's his job to
It's not.
to show them why they should care. Because to show them why they should
The only
care.
reason that's a bad.
I know who he is. I know who he is.
Right.
But you
all the time. So
that was a problem I'm about to make where it's alumni out here
It's Bone John to go
that's
Coolidge.
appreciating what this man is really doing
no question.
because that's why I say it falls back on administration. It's alumni that really love. I got motherfuckers that I know personally went there that's doing big time shit. They supporting the Wilson program because they like, man, we want to. They supporting that shit.
It's about how you
what,
run
what,
that
what I'm
That's
saying.
how you run it, bro. I'm going up to get the Stacey Robinson. I'm going up to get the Johnny Roses.
Fucking do that
I'm
shit.
doing it because I know what That's what I'm trying to tell Rick. If I'm at Anacostia, Mike Pye coming in there. Mike Pye coming in there. Davis, all of them. Well, I'm going to show them why they should. I'm going to show them why they should.
No, but you keep saying the kids. What I'm trying to say is,
the kids only going to lead. The kids
what
going
I'm
to go
trying to
as
make
you go.
is, it's people out here that really care about certain programs that motherfuckers that's running these programs don't even know. Like me, like I had to go through one. I said, man, we gotta get this man a show to appreciate what he's doing. My whole thing was, it wasn't about. It was about DC public schools to have a powers program again. You gotta think back in the day, we stayed. DC public schools was top 1 through fucking 5 every fucking week.
In the post.
Right. Every week.
No question.
So what I'm saying is, me as an alumni of these public schools, I ain't got to go to Wilson or Dunbar to appreciate what they doing. What I'm saying is, I'm just tired of seeing all the other schools dominating the top 10, top 15. We can't even get now. They're on the map where they fucking the private schools up.
Right.
So that was us back in the day where we gotta appreciate that shit. We gotta appreciate that shit. Like we sit here and talk about the Mathers, nothing to Mike Jones, Steve, all them my guys also. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it feels great to be a motherfucking I would never call DC double A. To be an inner-high alumni and be relevant in record books and everything, to be like, we back, Joe. But at the same time,
like you say,
you're going to have to get players, motherfuckers. I mean, fuck it. Oh, I don't give a fuck, Joe. I don't give a fuck where these motherfuckers at. I'm trying to get these motherfuckers to come to my school.
You have to understand where the game is now, right? It's AAU basketball, bro.
No, it is.
To
It
get
is.
to
I
get
understand
some
that.
talent.
You gotta go through AAU. I understand that.
For you to dominate, you gotta start there.
No, I understand that.
You
No,
have to.
I'm not.
There's no other way. You're not winning championships with all neighborhood kids.
You're not doing modern basketball.
Nowhere. You're not doing that in no major
Well,
city.
HD Wilson did.
Okay. But HD Wilson had them all clustered together playing AAU on the circuit.
Right. No,
So,
I'm not down. I'm not down
saying
that.
is-
I'm not down.
What I'm saying is, in order for these kids to improve now and be elite, they have to play some type of. You ain't getting better like we did at the rec. You're not gonna do
This
it.
is right.
We got better at Boys Club.
right.
I got better at number 9 Boys Club. I got better there. I got better at Wilson Rec. Them days over. Until you realize them days over, because you got some coaches who still think it's that hurt. Well, you going like, bro, where you been?
You got the
game
cone
has passed you by. You have to adjust. You have to adjust to the times.
But what I'm saying is, what means in kids' minds, right? And I know Coach know this, and y'all know this. Tradition doesn't mean anything. It's where am I going? It's where am I going to school?
I beg to differ.
With this generation.
It's where I deal with it. I live it. That's how I know.
You know
they
why?
could
You know
care
why?
less
You know why I
who Joe
disagree with
Wiley
that?
is. Where is
You
Mikhail
know-
Mitchell going to
you know why-
college?
You know why I
That's what
disagree
means
with
something
that?
to
You
these
know why I
kids.
disagree with that?
Social media,
Because I look at it like this. All them alums that went to major universities, Jay Rhodes. All right, listen, hear me out. Jay, if I got a kid at Dunbar and I'm coaching there, all right, and he's decent, he's pretty good, I'm gonna use Jay Rhodes to help me get him in school because because of J. Rose's relationship somewhere. You get what I'm saying? Meaning you tie all that shit together. Believe you me, I went to Virginia Union, okay, through relationships. Because I didn't have my score high enough to get into Manhattan who was recruiting me or get into a town and state of mid-major. So I was turned on to a D2 who probably can beat some of the major schools because that's a D1. Meaning I had no clue, but because of my relationships and my ties through Dunbar, I ended up going to making the best choice of my life, right? So you can't say them kids don't care. Them kids care about what you feed into their brains.
Right,
and if they respect you and they respect what you say.
And that's
then
fine.
that's how you gain respect of their parents. If you know what you're doing, you care about their kids, and you want to see their kids do better. That's I don't agree with that, man.
I'm going off facts. Talk to the kid. Don't talk to me. Talk to the kids. You think they care who Joe Wiley is?
Yeah, I know you.
They could care less.
Yeah,
because I understand their thought process. So what I try to do, some things I do, is bring that history to ways they can understand it, which is what I spent the last few years doing. How do I take this shit and make a legend coalition? It's old dudes, but it gets, okay, this guy might know some basketball scene. Just my thought process on how to connect them to the history and how I spent hundreds of dollars on videos, in short videos, 30-second videos, minute videos on Instagram and Twitter, because that's how they process what shit is.
Well, how come I can't bring them dudes into my gym and my practice? What's the difference? Why can't I bring Johnny? Why can't I bring Romeo in my gym? Why come I can't bring them Joe? I brought them dudes in my gym when I was up there, and we played against them. You think you good? This dude, 15 years older than you, bust your ass right now.
Because you know the difference. But you know the real difference is that
in my gym, and these dudes with the same school you went to.
Because the difference is that those guys, not because you coached when I played, we saw the Kurtz and Greg Jones and those guys on the playground. These kids never seen that.
Bro, I'm bringing them in my gym.
Okay, but it's not the same, man. These kids are driven by social media. They're driven by Twitter.
Well, follow Rome on social media. Follow Johnny on social media. What I mean is I'm going to use them dudes that my resources who went through the same steps y'all went through to show that y'all can do it for me.
I think the millennials are some fucked up ass motherfuckers.
I won't say that they just process. They don't connect.
Millennials are a little fucked up.
I think they connect better.
They're a little fucked up, man.
When they trust,
damn,
when they respect you and trust you, I think they listen a little better. Some of these coaches, let's put it like Bones said, let's keep it 100. Some of these coaches some of these kids don't even respect their coaches. I was sitting there watching that shit, Rick.
Well, they know.
I'm sitting up there at the top. I'm sitting up there watching that shit.
Coach don't talk to a clown, though.
So first of all, we gonna start there.
No.
Don't even respect their
I'm
coaches.
agreeing with everything you said. I'm gonna tell you why I'm agreeing because
That's what it is.
I know. I'm gonna tell you why I'm agreeing with you because of the simple fact that at some point in time we got to look at the situation, and it seems like it's like we picking on Wilson because he right here.
No, I know.
No. To make my point, what I'm saying is, why did the Twins just pick Wilson? No. What I'm saying is, the point. What I'm saying is, because of the simple fact that, like you said, you as a coach, you have to show the same enthusiasm, the same shit that you can sell to a motherfucker, the Mather Gonzaga, that your kids gonna be right there. They can be all right with. I don't give a fuck where they at. They can play. So at the same time, right situations, everything ain't for everybody. A lot of motherfucking kids are just public school kids mentally, not academically. Mentally meaning a lot of motherfuckers.
A lot of people ain't even gonna understand that.
A lot of these motherfuckers can't even go. I'm gonna give you the best example I can give you throughout my experience of just working with kids and coaching kids. And I say this, and men keep speaking. We argue. We don't argue. We debate about this. Me and Nunner. I'm gonna bring one name up, and this is my young, love him to death. My young fella. Chris Braswell should have never transferred from Suitland to go to the MAP. He would have been 3-time first team All-MAC, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. They sent that boy to the MAP. The atmosphere was different. He couldn't adjust to what the fuck was going on. His whole life was, his everyday life was different.
Little slacks and little ties.
All that joke. I'm saying,
I've
been through that shit.
No bras in the hallway.
I've been through the transition Catholic private. I mean, public private. That shit ain't for everybody.
It's different.
You got, and I think that's why you gotta give this man a great big up for getting the twins at Wilson, because every school in the public school could have got them. It's about what they believe in and what's the best fit for my kid. You get what I'm saying? So the point I'm making is that shit ain't for everybody.
No, it's not.
It's not for everybody. Motherfucker, I told them, I said, yo, Brad's ain't gonna go to math, he gonna be lost in the sauce. I ain't saying he can't handle. I'm not saying that.
Just what it is.
The
Just what it is. What it is.
Some dudes is just public school dudes. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I could do that shit.
You got some dudes just public school guys.
Man, you got kids right now that are at private schools that
They don't even belong there.
They don't belong.
They don't belong there.
But they are, because AAU plays such a big part.
Yeah, and
there you go.
It's AAU and
That's because they're Chinese people making comments on it tomorrow. I learned it in rec. Yeah, I understand that, but that was 85. This is 2019.
AAU and it ties back in the parents.
They
don't understand what you just said.
But these kids don't.
And then the flip side, you can say parents saying, "Oh, my life is better. I'm living cinema."
But that's not that reality don't play out.
But guess what? Your life is better. Okay, cool. You moved out the city. You moved every project you moved. But guess what? You moved in Bowie, up in Marlboro. It's PG County schools too, public schools. That don't mean that they can't still go to a public school because you made your life better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why kids are so fucked up now. Because parents are putting them in situations where they can't adjust.
They can't adjust.
Or they can't succeed.
And you can't really fault the parents because they want the best for their kids.
Yeah, but you got to understand what the best is.
You know what I'm saying?
The parent don't know that. Fuck the parent don't know that.
Y'all
don't mean
your kids.
It's what's the best for your
ain't
kid.
always putting in a situation.
Sure, but they don't know that, boy. A lot of stuff.
So you send them out
no disrespect
so
to
go ahead and to a private school when you know your kid ain't ready for that.
Because no, they
You
don't.
know your kid ain't ready to put that motherfucking towel every day and do this and that. Your kid's a fucking public school kid.
Right.
And guess what?
And see,
The same scholarship they can get from the math and Gonzaga, they get the same shit from a public school.
True.
That's bullshit to me.
Yes.
So they got this shit overrated.
But a lot of
and
them
I
parents
public
don't know
schools
the
are fucked
But a lot
up.
of them parents don't know.
What's fucked up is the
man.
fucking staff
That's
in
part
public
of it.
schools is fucked up. It ain't the kids, the staff fucked up. The staff, it ain't the staff is fucked up. They hiring the wrong motherfuckers to take charge of this shit. And that's the bottom line. They hiring the wrong motherfucker. You sit back in the LA department, you got a motherfucker that's from fucking Iowa or some motherfucker that's trying to run a goddamn DC public school. Motherfucking snow right there out there, motherfucker.
I mean,
You can't tell me about no shit out there.
every leader that at all these schools or any position, they do a national search for no reason.
For no reason at all.
And that's,
Exactly.
That's the issue in itself. I mean, that's why you see some of these. I mean, basketball's down, but before in April, before I went out with all the mess, it was actually good. I mean, you had kids at Rose, who's Darius and kid at O'Connor,
Docker, yeah.
who were there and were supposed to be returning. You had Woody, who was at McKinley, who was going to make them good. There were a couple kids that people don't even know about. They were at Ron Brown that were going to make them really good.
Yeah.
That transferred out, and I always go back to the relationships. That's all it goes back to. Like when I first started at Wilson,
It's your passion for this shit, man.
when
I
I
told
got,
you, Rick,
when
the
I
kids
got
gonna
rid
play
of
for
the
who-
13
Yeah, exactly.
seniors,
I had kids who
when I got rid of the
think
13
about
seniors,
But as a
man,
coach,
when I got rid of those guys, I had kids who, I had Josiah Marable, who nobody wanted. You know, nobody wanted him. Like
Ricky Lindo.
nobody wanted Ricky Lindo. No kid was 6 feet. Nobody knew he was going
Kid
to
in
be 6'9".
Maryland?
Yeah, nobody knew
I
that.
wouldn't say him play 2 weeks up. Play hard as a motherfucker.
Right,
And
nobody-
you know one thing I like about him? He's his right age. He ain't no motherfucking reclass motherfucker.
he young actually. Right?
Yeah, he's ahead of his motherfucking
He
grade.
just turned 18.
Yeah.
But my point about it was I took those guys and just put time into them. Allende Hakeem. Like Allende Hakeem, his whole
Love
family
show. Work
went
out
to
bad
Wilson.
motherfucker. I love
You know,
show.
but not a kid. This kid still ain't have no looks when he left Wilson. I don't know why. But, you know, he probably has one of the best resumes out of any public school that I've ever seen.
I
Like,
agree.
you
I
know, first team all met, you know, like 3 championships. And he's going to LaSalle, which Mount Zion did a great job with him. But a lot of coaches aren't doing that work.
Just
Building
said- I just said it,
relationships.
Rick.
That's
That's
it.
That's all I'm saying.
People have no clue.
That's what I'm
how
saying.
much work goes
That's what
into
I'm
it.
saying.
But what I'm saying,
That's what you want to
all I'm saying to
Fuck
you
on what
is,
you got to sell
why-
and all that. That's what it is, Rick.
But
I'm
why-
not disagreeing. I get
no.
your
I'm
point.
saying we talk about that work you put in, right? Why would I want to do that at Anacostia though when my job is harder? So
Why
that's the
not?
part.
What
But
do you
that's the
mean?
part. But that's the part I'm saying,
That goes,
Roach.
but see, that goes for being a basketball
What's the
dude,
benefit?
Rick.
But
Rick,
so
Rick,
now,
in this city,
now,
Rick,
but that's why I say, like, this is what I'm trying to tell you: the disconnect between when you was in it and now. And until we understand that, we're gonna be asking these same questions. Your approach to it, it's not a lot of guys with that no more.
That's what I'm saying. You
See,
you
your
are the
approach,
dominant, though,
your
yo.
approach is not
In a
there.
certain
So
way.
the guy,
I kind of disagree with that.
so who?
I can't call Rick because I don't really know.
And that's
I only
what-
know the ones I grew up with. Like,
So that's the disconnect.
I
That's
kinda
the
disagree with that.
so
y'all know more.
That's why.
That's why I asked that question.
So, reason
Hold on, what side you be with the
I agree with this. It's the coaches. It's the fucking coaches, yo. The way what you bring.
Right. It's an administrative,
What you bring.
man.
A lot of motherfuckers don't think like you, so it's you see it one way. You see it from your spectrum.
The bottom line is,
Niggas ain't hard body, eccentric basketball motherfuckers going at it like how you going at it. You see it one way because you eccentric motherfuckers going at it. Everybody like that.
That's
So
the problem we need now.
right, but if that's the way,
I agree with it.
AAU is the way.
That's what it is.
And
That's what it
right?
is.
So, I keep it 100 with everybody. I go to all the AAU events.
You're supposed to.
And I don't see any of my.
You're supposed
I
to.
don't see any of my constituents in the gym.
No, you're supposed
I don't
to.
see it, and that's an issue in itself. And until that changes, and it's not even about going in and recruiting the kids. It's about going in just to watch basketball. Like, get relationships with these coaches that you may hire a coach.
But who are these guys? But my question to you is who are these guys? Who this guy waiting to go rebuild Baloo? Who is who?
No. I get That's
I agree with you, Rick.
No.
I agree with you.
No. That's why I said I get what he's saying, but I can't fully agree with everything because of the simple fact that it just take one, like Roach said, it take one motherfucker. That's why That's why I turned down every fucking.
And guess what, Rick?
School job I had. Oh man, I don't want that shit because guess why? It ain't. It's about the administrator caring about this shit. It take one bad motherfucking kid.
I don't care. I'm getting ready to piggyback. I'm getting ready to piggyback on that.
And not transfer.
Guess what? I'm getting ready to piggyback.
And not transfer.
I'm getting ready to piggyback on Bone.
And not transfer.
Because he on to.
Stay at that motherfucking school.
He on
If you
to.
can fucking play,
With
they
all.
gonna come and get you.
Bone.
And guess
Bone.
what?
Bone.
Other motherfuckers believe and say, Bryson, your son. Man, that motherfucker 6'6", 6'7". Man, send that motherfucker. I got
With all
I got
due-
that motherfucker over a Baloo.
Yep.
Versus two, all the bullshit and other schools. You like, man, he can't do what he want to do.
With all
he
due
gonna be able to do what
respect,
he want to
man,
do
Bone
right
is-
here. And guess what? That's gonna be more opportunities. You get what I'm saying? It's two sides. I think the panel is agreeing with each other. It's just different. It's just different shit. We explain it different. I think we all got valid points. It's just what I'm saying is, at the same time, it takes one motherfucker to go to one motherfucking school.
Rick, you
and
see,
say, you know what? We're gonna turn this motherfucker out. And guess what? I think, say for example, since we got Hernandez, them twins with Wilson, guess what? It's gonna be some parents who say, shit.
because we're just recruiting itself.
We be math, we be Gonzaga, we got national schedule. Shit, it worked up there.
But who?
For them.
But it don't look like it just happened, not knowing that you didn't put in a whole lot.
But then,
Jonah Fannell just made it look like it happened that way.
Then again, guess what's happening? Guess what? They're not gonna appreciate your work.
That's what I just said.
They're gonna appreciate the work because they're gonna look like, oh, they just like.
But Jonah Fannell will say
see
that.
the work.
Those who
That's
understand
my
the game.
point.
They don't see the fucking work.
That's what makes it.
But they never do.
That's
But
what
that
makes
comes
it.
with the territory, Bryce. I don't care about
Going
that.
back to Berg with Chris Braswell. Berg had that motherfucking agenda every day getting them better. You know what I'm saying? They for somehow thought that him transferring to Malcolm will make him this next motherfucker. It's gonna make him that average motherfucker. He gonna drop talent wise, because anybody gonna be.
Sometimes it's good to be a big fish in a small
Right, but Roach, this all I'm saying right here. If Hernandez, if he leaves,
No, this ain't you to trade from the map.
Joe, if he leaves Wilson, right, there's gonna be a line of motherfuckers waiting to come behind him. They ain't gonna have no problem finding a next great coach.
All right, go ahead.
Who wants to be the coach at Bell? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I get you guys are laying out. You guys are laying out the roadmap, the stuff you got to deal with.
Let's look at the current state. Let's look at the current state of the DCIAA.
Right.
All right. You gonna take me out of my career? I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do it because I have guys that I grew up with, and it's no disrespect.
You leaving Wilson next year?
That's my own.
I don't want to stay this.
I'm sure.
Absolutely. You ain't going to that.
I couldn't.
If a Howard job opened up, you would take the Howard job.
No. I already know where he's going. See, the thing about it, he don't know what I know certain shit. I know where he's going next year. He won't be at Wilson.
Wilson.
Man, you won't be at Wilson.
What we've done.
You will not be at Wilson next year. You will not. You say what you go ahead.
What I was saying, I give all my praises to those kids that
all that,
started Allende.
All that, yeah. And they gone. They gone.
Some of them
And you gone. You gone. You gone. I know what's happening.
I'm not going.
You gone. Right, hey, JB, Stephen A. on this motherfucker. He gone.
I'm not going.
Stephen A.
He gone.
His sources. His fucking sources.
I hung out with some niggas the way they told me that
his
you gone.
motherfucking
Why
sources.
leave something that people are investing in now?
See, and go, I'm glad you said that.
And
you get what?
I like the investment.
Yeah, and I like what you're saying. I like what you're saying. That's some bullshit.
I don't know how many other schools are
You gone, man.
Nike
You gone.
elite schools.
You gone.
But we're one of them. And so that's a big deal, right? So
But you can take the same Nike elite to your next program. I know you gone.
Nothing like Wilson, man.
I know you gone. I know. Guess what? Hey, this off the air talk.
Wilson Tiger for life.
Fuck administrator right now. You know what I'm saying? The man did a great job. You gonna win again this year. We ain't gonna do this bullshit.
Yeah.
He gonna win again this year. And guess what? The press conference, hey, he's gone. Hernandez is gone there. I see y'all later on. In the show.
That's a good tease, dog. That's a good tease. That's good TV, yo. That's good TV, Slim.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with the roadmap. I just want to know. I want to know who's the name. What's the names out here?
That's what I was going to say.
To rebuild this program.
The current state of the DCIA. No disrespect, because I don't.
Yo, we're gonna say right here tonight. We all taking a job. We all gonna take a fucking job. We all gonna take a job. That's it, Ricky. We got the answer.
All right, no. Listen to this.
Go ahead,
the current state of the DCIA, right? From what I'm able to see, I know a couple of them guys, been friends since childhood. Right? I don't know all of them, right? Okay, but looking at the talent level, all right. I looked at Wilson. They beat everybody by 30 or 40 or better. Just flat out better team, right? Better kids, better. Whether he set his ass on that bench or not, he could beat the shit out them teams. Maybe not by 40, but by 20. All right, you just got better kids. Okay, that's part of coaching. I'm not taking that away from them. You got to get kids in there. You can draw up and be the best coach you want. If you ain't got talent to play it out, you ain't got nothing.
Right.
Listen, let me make my point. All right, the DCIA right now, I believe this. All right, because I've been in it, I was raised in it, coached in it, the whole deal. Wasn't that fucking long ago? 07, 08 is when I left. All right, right now you can compete in that league with two good kids. Two studs.
I agree 100% with that.
So when you're saying who wants to take up a Lou and a college, I can get two. I can get with my relationships in this city. I can get two kids over there and have some mediocre dude and compete. I may not get at him right now because he's loaded and whoever's been in that league long and got better kids. But I can start there and compete because the league is down.
But two things. Number one, it goes back to what you two said. But it goes back to what you two said at the beginning of the show. The shit you got to deal with to start administration. So that right. Because he was willing. But that's my point. Because he was willing with him and Trey Mines and Rob. Yeah, they went through it. What my only thing I'm saying is now that we laid out what has to happen. the next question is, obviously, who does it? That's what I'm saying.
okay.
Is it's not 20 guys trying to do what he did, and we can talk about and say this.
No,
It's
that's
not
what we say.
right. So when you say why, hasn't it been rebuilt? We talked about what can happen. There has to be somebody can see it's your way to say that if I do X, Y,
That's
Z.
part of the issue. That's my issue with this city, in the state of our basketball in this city. That's my whole point, Rick. Meaning you got dudes who faking like they basketball dudes when they're not.
And they're not.
So they acting like they are. They just like the principle of, oh, I'm the coach there. They just want what the shit comes. That's just like some kids, Rick. Some kids aren't really about. They just want what comes with this shit.
I'm thinking
I get what he's saying. I just don't think it's a lot of motherfuckers.
I get what
that
we
might
are
be dribbling,
saying.
But it might be a lot. It ain't a rack of motherfuckers that's dribbling like you. So a lot of times,
That's what I'm saying.
when you seeing it, it's
Right.
your view.
It's
a dribbling motherfucker. Everybody ain't. Some nigga might be.
No,
my nephew.
and that's it. No, that's why. No,
fake motherfuckers.
And that's what the problem I have. Put in the work, man. Don't keep asking for respect.
How many musicians did this? Like
This man just said that I was an assistant.
That's why
a lot of central motherfuckers in the game now.
That's why I came with the point and said, I simply said, I'm agreeing with we all are saying. That's why I gave him props. I said,
Absolutely.
That's why I said, all them public schools had an opportunity to build a program.
Working like this man.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
He put the work in.
Some of them are. They just
No, they
like.
Oh, their approach is
okay,
bad or something, what they doing.
So it go back to what you say. What you keep screaming, administration. Like some of these coaches out here working.
You got to support.
Ali from Tech, he does a phenomenal job.
Right, Ali's been around.
I love Ali.
He's been around it.
Ali's his kid.
He's been around
He
it.
coached me in high school.
Love
He's been
Ali.
around it all his life.
Right, coach.
Love Ali. Love his whole
Grew up at the Herbo.
Another
My
coach,
point, he
another
grew up
coach
in it.
at Eastern, Coach K. I call him Coach K, but he does a wonderful job of what he has, and he's out here grinding. I see him at AAU events. I see him in the gym. I saw him in the gym today, just in the gym watching basketball. His whole staff in there. Andre Williams, that's coach at Baloo right now, you know, and he's trying to work some magic. I mean, 2 years ago, it was much worse than what it was. I mean, he's back in the playoffs. He's doing things, but he gave the blueprint for Wilson. And all I did was take it and make it a little bit better and put a little bit more ground. But there's other guys. Rob does a phenomenal job
Yes, he
at
does.
Roosevelt. Like,
Rob did a great job.
Yeah.
Rob actually brought back the back in the day.
He
recruiting.
did.
When he first started, Rob knew how to just go to middle school.
Relationship.
Because that's what
Rob and
the
Vaughn
point I'm
got a
making
passion.
is- the point I'm
I'm about to
making is-
say Vaughn. Nobody talks about
Vaughn, but he brought.
I played with Vaughn since I was 5.
I'm
Vaun
not
started.
I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about these kids. They don't know anything about, like, Vaughn was the first person to do, not the first person, but when I got here, I watched what Vaughn did. Like, Vaun did some things, like, if everybody,
Some great things.
like, these things.
Get them
are-
coaches in the gym, man.
Yeah,
Like-
but guess what? Oh, let me say this. Then the one thing that fucks me up about what's going on right now with the DCI, motherfuckers going there worrying about who got the best players instead of just coaching what you got. Go get them motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's what Malcolm Battle.
Go get him and compete.
Malcolm Battle coaches what he got.
No, what I'm saying. Stop worrying about me going over motherfucking Southeast and motherfucking. I'm going to get
Coaching what you got ain't gonna compete against one who bringing some studs in. That shit is
that's why you gotta get them.
Yes.
This is what I'm saying.
And by the way, you did
Go
call the
get 'em.
DCIA. You ain't called the Anaheim.
Go get them.
He did this motherfucker.
These guys.
Freudian fucking slip.
I know that. You know what?
What's happening there,
Because
Joe?
I'm caught up in this bullshit conversation.
Got you talking about lineal basketball.
They got me fucked.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask Coach a question. When these jobs come open, I know you guys talk. How many people apply for them?
3D, what's up, baby?
When the Cadozas and Anacostias, I know the
Got
talk.
my gear.
How many applications do you think they get for these jobs, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just forget qualified people. How many? It's not, and so that's my concern. That's more so where I'm coming from. Part of it is what I was telling you earlier. Is the disconnect between what's going on now and the understanding of what was going on back then. Because if you appreciate the history, then it'll give you. See, Rob appreciates DC basketball. Von Jones appreciates
Yeah,
DC.
they
So
went
right,
because they
so
grew up in it.
right. So who? So you. So we
They grew
got
up in it.
So we got to figure out, right? How does Mike Powell go back to Anacostia instead of Curl? See, that's what we
Like
got to
Mike,
figure
I
out.
believe because I know Mike's a thorough dude. If Mike wants to, and he's willing and has the time, because this shit is time consuming. You don't go home. And,
Well, he's coaching
this
it-
shit is-
Well, he's coaching at Curl.
That's the whole issue, though. But see, Curl, he may have better person.
But that's my point. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I was saying. If I got to choose between taking a job at Anacostia and taking a job at Curl, where am I going? That's all I was saying.
But to say it can't happen.
Oh, I'm not saying it can't.
Tradition there. There's tradition in all of these.
No, I never said that. This generation here don't care about that part. Is what I'm saying. So if Mike Powell cares about it, right? Why take? And Mike is no shot. I'm not taking shots. You're just easy because you're coaching. Why Curl over Anacostia, your alma mater? Well, he built that. I mean, Anacostia became good when he got when he got there.
Well, also too,
Keith Davis and guys like that.
within that time, like right now at Dunbar, there's totally different administration. I don't know nobody.
Right.
When I was hanging them banners up there, the dude came in there, introduced himself. He's a sports dude. I just gave ball, exchanged numbers. I didn't even know this guy. You get what I'm saying? I introduced myself, the whole deal, right? I just had my info sources in there like Germ and Tippy who attended it, so that was my link in. You see what I'm saying? But what I mean is, I guess Bryce is hitting it on the head. Dudes who grew up in this city and understand and have relationship feel that they have confidence, okay? Because the league is down so much. You get what I'm saying? To where Wilson, Roosevelt, HD, we can name them in the last couple of years who've been there on top. All right? Let's take Rob in the 9 straight finals. All right? Them other teams, it can't be that good. And now, again, that's no knock to Rob because he grinds and get in there. I've been knowing him since we was in junior high together. We played, you know what I mean? We have relationships since babies. You get what I'm saying? But what I mean is when you have the Wilsons and the Roosevelts and HD at the very top and then it's a major fall off, that's because they ain't getting no kids in there because all you need is 1 or 2. You know what I mean? And again, that goes with relationship, getting in them gyms. If you don't have a relationship, developing one. You know what I mean? You have to do that. The ring it going. Even if I got to go to you, the dude now who's making basketball back relevant, I can't have no problem. Be like, who is this young dude thinking? I got to go talk to you. But see, a lot of these have that too. Though. But see, a lot of these got that problem. Ricky. A lot of these have that problem, Rick. To where, because they older, Ricky ain't said, now they got to go problem to go talk to Rick. No, that's the name of the game now, bro. That's just what it is. See, I don't have that pride. If I don't know him and I know Kurt know him, I'm going to blow Kurt's phone up. Kurt gonna look me up about 3-4 times. So what? I'm gonna call him to the 6th time. He gonna pick up. Kurt, I need to go talk to such and such. Well, Roach, you can't talk. Well, how can I meet? No, them dudes don't want to put in that legwork. They don't want to put in my opinion, that legwork. They claim they want to be coaches. They want to look good. They want to show up at the games. They want the little bit of attention they get. But they don't actually know what it takes, man, to run a program. And then once you get a program, having to deal with the egos with these kids who think they're better than what they are. Some of the kids are way better, so then you got to keep on saying. To have a staff, I had the best team I had was Trey, Earl, Toe, and them. You know how much work that is, man?
Yeah. You
know how much work that is? I can't imagine dealing with the Twins. Not that they bad kids,
That's
or
what
the player of the year. And then you got to deal with that problem. So it never stops, Mo.
That's
Never
what
stops.
Like you got.
And I love every one of them. I ain't talking about Earl. I love Earl, Trey, Tony.
Like right now, right? Like we're talking about what's relevant. You got questions to ask, like you got Maryland, private, or public. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Which is more important right now to me? The answer I'm gonna give is AAU is running all this
everything.
Shit to and they're directing anything. Just say you're a bad motherfucker. Just say you coaching Wilson, right? They say, man, versus you got more leverage in coaching Team Takeover or Team Durant than coaching Wilson to get you where you need to be. The point I'm making is They're not going off with no school shit no more.
Right.
No, the school.
Who you
shit-
coach?
It's off of your program as far as
Who you attached to?
Who you attached
to?
That's what you know. Now you're going to DC public school. Going to DC public schools. Then the first thing a motherfucker gonna tell you, oh man, I'm gonna need you to coach in the circuit if you want to coach college basketball. Yeah. So back then it was like you coaching your school to get a college job. Now you just coaching AAU basketball to get a fucking college job.
Yep.
Cause you coaching more bad motherfuckers though.
No, that's fine.
That's what makes it different.
All that's fine, but it takes away. It takes away from your passion of why you really want to do it.
Right, exactly.
Because you gotta get into that type of bullshit ass game.
Right.
To do that.
But
You know what I'm saying?
It's fucked up.
But if you want to stay in this shit,
But I want to tag on what you said. Me and you talked about this the other day. And we're gonna bring up a show. What happened to the community coaches, right? The Harold Lindsay, he coached at Cadoza for like 30 years, right? Like what happened?
Not relevant no more.
Right. So, huh?
because
So-
that's not
because-
the game anymore.
Right, but what and that's kind of what I'm getting at when we was talking about who wants that job. It kind of ties into what Kurt said, because me rebuilding Anacostia might not get me where I want to get as if I coach Team Durant. If I invest my resources there, my time, my energy on those kids, it might pay a better outcome than if I try to rebuild a high school program. So that's another obstacle you got to look at, because it's not a lot of guys, Joe Dean Davidson, the guys like that.
Depending on what you're trying to get. Some of these dudes just want to be high school coaches.
What's your goal out of Conrad Wilson coaching?
Good question.
You know, I always I have a plan, but you know, it's really just to help the kids. Like if I get something out of it, like as far as like another coaching job at in a college, like that's a goal. Then that's cool, but I'm not pressed to get there. Like I actually enjoy
What you do?
doing what I do.
Yeah,
right
and
Like,
people
this
don't,
is-
and people have no understanding of that shit.
I get that, and I'm cool with that. If you wasn't so successful with these bomb ass mobs, would that be your same answer?
It's a little bit. I
No,
don't know.
no, keep it real. Fuck all this. Let's keep it real.
It happened,
If you out there, motherfucker, like not winning every year, would that be your same situation?
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good question.
Will you really? Is that your mindset for
Yes,
real?
I think so because
That's bullshit. Come on.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what.
Bullshit.
Let me tell you what. And would it be my same mindset just helping the kids? Yeah, because I'm not one to sit. Like I had a 5-year plan. Like my 5-year plan was to win a championship, win the city the first year. Didn't happen. Won it the second year. So the plan after that was to win the states. Did that, and then win the city again, and then win the state again. So
And you about to win that motherfucker again.
hopefully, you know,
You not.
count
Come
my
on,
hand.
man. You win
What
that
happened,
motherfucker again.
right? My other thing was to get the alumni to come back and actually see Wilson basketball be great, right? The other thing was to get Nike, get a sneaker company to come in to make it easier for me. Like, make my life easier, right? So you said if we weren't winning, right? So if we weren't winning, I would go back and have to look at that plan, have to look at the people around me and say, I need to make some changes because I can't just lead it. Because every year it's a new batch of kids that come in.
I'm agreeing with everything. I'm a double back a little bit. I'm a double back on one thing you said, right? I'm with you. That's why I said, man, you got these men on the show because you know some great motherfucking things to get the NI back.
Right.
So you said your alumni, right?
I'm not an alumni in school, but
No.
oh, you talking about the alumni for
You meant
absolutely.
do you double back and have you done your research on your alumni from Wilson? Can you name me 5 motherfuckers from Wilson that played at Wilson?
No.
So you not reaching out to your alumni?
Well,
So you're right. But you're right in that.
That's not what I'm saying.
You're right.
What I'm saying is you use your alumni as a tool to saying that's your reason for staying. That's one of your reasons for staying at Wilson. So what I'm saying, reaching out to your alumni, you got to do your research. You know who your alumni is.
You said played. So
Right.
So it's the guys that played. That's cool. So I do reach out to people that work with me, like Mark. Like Mark is a guy that he knows all the alumni. So what I do is And it's not even because of them. It's like I just want to make sure that they understand the work that I'm doing at Wilson. Like I'm not.
No, they appreciate you. I'm gonna tell you from motherfuckers I know that played at Wilson, they're appreciating the work that you're doing because what they're saying is, if we had that same coach that put forth the effort when we were playing,
Would have been way more successful.
we would be on that other level. So they appreciate you. So let me say that first before you misunderstand my point of saying. So the only thing I'm saying to you is, it's some bad motherfuckers that you may have to reach out to get that motherfucking, so you won't have to leave that motherfucker.
And that's what I do. So like during homecoming, the football game, they all come back and you know they have their little events and I just go mingle and try to meet people. And I see people at different schools. I mean, there's people working in the league. It's somebody that graduated from Wilson that's working with the Sixers right now. And,
No, you don't. No, you.
You talking about Mike Goins?
Yeah,
That's my first cousin.
I'm not judging your job. You're doing a great fucking job, and you're doing a great job. Like I said earlier in the show, just for the inner high itself, they bring that shit back relevant to these motherfucking private schools. You beat their asses and all that shit. I'm not saying that, but just advice wise, y'all some bad motherfuckers that you probably want to reach out to and get them motherfuckers to buy into your program instead of them just sitting in the stands and saying, "Oh, Wilson."
Man, keep in mind,
No. Wilson won the championship, and they say, "Oh, I went to Wilson."
Right.
Get them motherfuckers a part of your program because you're the one that brought it back.
Right.
It's like you ain't gonna tell me that you ain't want to reach out to Anthony Jones and them dudes and find research on them dudes. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not nowhere near taking out what you're doing. You great job. Right. I'm just trying to say, man, get with them dudes because you understand. Wilson to us back in the day was just like we played Wilson tonight.
Yeah. So you're the first
you
one.
You got them motherfuckers on something.
Yeah. So you gotta kind of build that. Wilson never had that.
Had some bad motherfuckers.
Wilson never had that.
Motherfucker Joe Burney, Bowie James,
and then even you gotta think about.
You want that shit back.
When Wilson won the title in '84, it didn't even mean a whole lot then because you didn't need it to go to the city title. Dunbar was going to the city title regardless. So you got to think about that too. That's what I'm saying. Like, so you got to kind of build that culture a little bit because Wilson just never had it.
You know some shit at Wilson that you don't even probably know you're doing.
I probably don't. Like, it takes a lot of like. It
And one thing was
work.
they had some nice motherfucking females too. Good God, the wound, the wound University. That boy. My bad. Any chick that went to Wilson, any chick that I could play with in Wilson, y'all know it's Largo. Damn, it's all good.
One thing I did was with Ron Jenkins. He's always around. He's been doing stuff. He gave me some tapes before the first championship game, like some tapes from I think it was like '77 and then the '84 games, because we were putting together something to kind of mirror what that championship game looked like and what that championship game looked like. Right. Just to see some of the history. But do I need to do a better job at research? Absolutely, and I'm not naive to that. But I spent a lot of time in. Like these kids, like people say Wilson privilege, right? But these kids, they still struggling in every aspect of their life. So how they eat every day, what they wearing, like that is what matters to them. Like social media, absolutely, they got that problem.
Nah, I ain't.
I disagree.
Yeah, I did.
I want to talk about basketball kids.
You
want to talk about my team.
Okay. No. Guess what? Listen what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying. No. Exactly. They not from there.
Oh, we always on the same.
They not from there. So the kids you got on the team, they might be
Kurt Bone and Greek.
They might be. You know what I'm saying?
We were talking about all the time.
But guess what? That don't make it.
Investigative.
That
don't make it fucking with your body because
that's not a demerit on you. That's a plus.
You're giving them opportunity.
That's the whole point.
To get better. It's a plus. Right. So ain't no average.
Don't let nobody tell you that.
Ain't nobody going to Wilson fucked up.
Because trust me, and I'm going to say this out loud. They be mad at me for saying this. If any of them DCIA teams could have got the Twins, they would have got them.
That's facts.
And nobody would have turned it down.
That's
so
facts.
Because the man got it.
They mad.
See, that's the part that wears me out
They
about
mad.
dudes. and they don't like Roach about is that's what I'm gonna be, Rick. That's what I know I can get kids when I That's why I know getting in this. That's why I did what I did when I was in it.
But you know one thing about getting kids though, and one thing you did with that 03 team, like I said, I played against them twice, was not only did you get those kids there, them motherfuckers played together, like Joe, like Trey, and people forget this. But this what people forget.
Man, Roach ain't having no other way. Roach ain't having no other way. Roach is not having no other way.
Trey Kelly was a bad motherfucker, Joe. My man for life. But the way he coached them motherfuckers, Joe, with Earl and Price and man, Slim. Them dudes knew. Them dudes knew their motherfucker. They ain't fight on the court.
None of that.
Man, cause you see teams, cause you can load up a team. You can load up a team with talent, and they don't play together. But I remember that team. That team, Joe. Cause you got to think, bro. Trey was used to doing 35, and Trey bought in to what was going on, and that part people who don't. Whether you or McLeese or Joe Dean, Dunbar was able to get talented players to buy into what was going on.
And sure enough, and Trey said it on this show. Trey said it on this show. There was times when I coached Trey, when we hit heads bad. You get what I'm saying? There were times when we hit heads bad. Only me and him knowing the team know, but it was healthy for us. You know what I'm saying? No. You know what I mean? So that comes with the territory.
And then you had a quarterback on the court, man. The motherfucker Earl Risby, man.
Right, he made it. You talking about somebody
best point guard I ever seen in DIW.
That made my job easy. Those times I was sitting there and wasn't doing nothing.
Man, Earl, man.
Because you had an Earl on the team.
Earl was different, Joe.
Because what Landy told me was, Zoe, when you get Earl, you a whole lot of stuff that you ain't gonna need to do. And he was absolutely right. It was times in the second quarter, third quarter, I'm sitting just like this because Earl basically.
Earl was different.
Well, I sat down where it comes with the territory. But what I mean is that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of dudes. And again, if I didn't have them relationships, don't get me wrong. And let's not forget Randy. Randy was an intricate part. Randy was the last one of them rappers I put up the other day that made it all man. Okay. If I didn't have relationships with any of them guys, they don't send them to me. I don't get them. If I wasn't the kind of guy that I am, again, not too long, I'm going to be who I am. And not everybody can deal with that style of coaching. Stacey teases me all the time, Roach, I couldn't play with you, man. You yelling all the fucking time. That's me.
Right.
That's just my style. And them dudes, guess what? But them dudes knew in that building, I had their back. Them dudes knew off the court, I had their back. Them dudes knew that they needed something. I was there. So that's what it comes down to. But that's what Joe the fan, I keep saying, all these dudes with all these comments, all these men and women who got something to say but never been in it. Right. They don't understand that all they see is when y'all throw the ball up and you ain't playing the dude. You don't know this motherfucker ain't been to class in 3 days. Right. You don't know that he just disrespected a little girl the other day and somebody got to do something or he gonna think you can do. They don't have no clue about none of that. They don't have no. I'm gonna tell you who used to always tell me stories about Allen Iverson, Coach Riley. He used to say, "So people don't know. I had personal detail on Allen Iverson and sit out the dorm."
He actually told me.
He will not be in the news the next day.
Yeah, that's facts. He actually told me that too.
But when I'm up at Georgetown camp as a youngster, because Coach McLeese sends me up there because he knew I would be a coach someday to get under that tutelage, to where I've developed a relationship with a dude like Coach Riley who played at Cardozo with my father. Had all the links in, bro. You need all that to coach, bro. You need all of that. So he tells me, so I go, okay, he didn't do that for Allen Iverson. I know what I got to do for a fucking Earl Risby. Earl is going to school in his neighborhood. Surgical quarters right there. This is off. Man, Earl is one of the slickest dudes you ever want to know. I mean, so I gotta keep my P's and Q's in. But dysfunction, I knew made that kid work. I used to tell True, speaking of Wilson, we go to play Wilson. Short story about Earl. We go to play Wilson. And I'm looking around, making sure everybody ready to play. And True comes to me and says, Roach, man, Earl left his shoe. He only has one shoe in his bag. I said, man, no worries. Because when shit is not running smoothly, it's when he's at his best. I said, well, one of these dudes ain't playing, need to get the shoes. Because he playing. He fucking playing. Well, somebody may look at that and say, well, if he lost his shoe, then he can't play.
But
Fuck you.
see,
everybody's
but you know what?
Coach Matt, I learned this from Coach Matt, but you say that again. It's that you learn from your coach. Everybody's not treated the same, but everybody's treated fair.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But see, but you know the problem. But you know what? That's a good topic to talk about, and that has kind of been lost in social media. So you see these parents that now got a voice to voice this shit. You can't explain to people no more that there's no equality in basketball. The same college coaches go to Mather are not going to another school. The same kid, like that's just not basketball. Is not an equal opportunity game. The best players, the better talent, like Bone said, there's guys that with a 1.6 GPA gonna get in school. It's guys with a 3.0 GPA that's not getting in school, and you have to understand.
I ain't here to get no school.
Well, 4.0.
Huh? No, I agree. No, I agree everything you say about
I
that.
salute the dude, just met him today. Salute him. All I can see is from what I can see from the DCIA because I'm there, do a couple games. But I'm gonna tell you, bro. And like I said, I got personal friends that's coaching in that league. Again, since we were literally 11, boys club, recreation, all that. Keep doing what you're doing. If they got to catch up, that ain't your problem. Right. That's simple. That ain't your problem. I dealt with that. That ain't your problem. How you get, well, they in here legally. The DCIA athletic director of DC.
But you know what?
Said that
But you know what people should worry about more, and this is what I told them earlier, is why Earl want to go there. See, that's the part nobody want to deal with that part. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Why they want to go to Wilson?
Yeah. You know what?
It
goes back to what I said. These same guys that we're talking about as coaching, they had equal opportunity to get the same caliber players that he has.
But it couldn't
you get what I'm saying? It's about like you said, connections.
That's the name of the game now. John, there was a time, I told the dude the story the other day. There was a time, Bone, where John Thompson can go to your house, and we're just going to talk about the college level right now, right? In the state of what it is, and people can act like this don't happen, but it does, all right? There's a story out there. There was a time in the 80s where John Thompson can go to your house and say, talk to your parents and say, man, your son can come to Georgetown. I'll make him a better man. He'll get a Georgetown education. Mm-hmm. So the parents will be like, yes, my son will be a prestigious kid after leaving here. That day over. If you want 1, 2, 3 on top prison, you better come with something. You better come with a bag. Because that's the name of the game. People can act like that don't happen, but that's what it is.
I was a victim of that.
My point, Bone, but that's what I mean by Joe the fan don't know that. People who just like to watch and don't have the understanding of how this shit has changed.
But it goes back.
This shit has changed.
But it goes.
If you don't change with it, you're not going to compete.
I'm saying.
You're not going to compete.
I'm gonna say this.
That's simple.
I'm gonna say this, and we.
That's just on the cards. I ain't saying that shit happened in the high school, but I just give an example how the fucking game has changed.
Right. I'm gonna say
every level.
I'm gonna say this, right, and then we gonna close out because February we always close out with a Black History Month, and you on your shit right now. And that's my man.
No. Look at this shit, bro. This is what I do. I don't know nothing else in this world, and I'm not too long. Basketball is what the fuck I know. That's all I know.
That's what, bro.
I had to learn everything else.
You gonna close us out. You gonna close us out with a nice Black History moment or Black History person, because I know that's what you do. So yeah, I already know. So what I'm saying is to close out, and this is my belief. And it's been for the past fucking 4.5, 5 years. Bryson will tell you on the break. A lot of this shit been fucked up with this basketball shit since my motherfucking man Lanny been in this situation. A lot of this shit we shouldn't be talking about none of this shit.
Respect due.
If my man was still out here, all this shit that we talking right now, it'd be them respected. I just think that it'll be. I ain't trying to throw no motherfucking shots at nobody. I'm keeping it real.
Yes.
I'm just keeping it real. The motherfucker that set the bar for all this shit that's be fucked up right now and all that shit. The last 5 years have been fucked up because of what? That man ain't here no more to do this and that. Y'all can say what y'all want. So y'all can kiss my ass on that, and I'm gonna keep it real of the bottom line, motherfucker. certain shit with me going on without this motherfucker right now.
Man, that's
Certain motherfuckers wouldn't be there right now without this
100%,
bullshit.
100%,
The
dog.
bottom line. So
He got me off Gilligan's Island, yo. I was
man,
over
we can
to
say
college.
we
Hey,
can
look,
say
no
we
disrespect to
want.
Tuco. Hey, look.
And we gonna get my man Hernandez great fucking job.
Thanks for
I
coming,
respect
man.
the little you doing for
No
bring
doubt.
that motherfucker in high back and know you can come back after y'all win it. Y'all know y'all won it. Come back on the show and talk your shit. And when after you win it, we're gonna talk about your next move where I know you're going at. So we're not gonna do it. And guess what? You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be sugarcoating because DC the administrator don't give a fuck about that shit.
They really
They don't give a fuck about that shit. So guess what? It don't matter. So after you win it, we gonna come and talk about your next move.
Bone can't say that.
No, I can. Man,
He can't say
I
that.
can say it. I can say it. He's supposed to say what he's saying.
This is exclusive.
He's supposed to say what he's
Okay,
saying.
all right, this is exclusive.
Yeah, and guess what? Administrator ain't watching this shit.
I have no contract offers from anybody.
Real talk, man. You're doing a great fucking job. I know y'all looking forward to y'all winning it.
And so are
You know what I'm saying?
the other few guys. I don't want to give discredit Rob and the other guys.
No,
them
my guys,
Them
my guys.
guys are doing
great
well
job.
too.
No, they're doing a great job.
We have him on the show this, so he's the featured guy today. So, but I don't
Great
want to
job.
get, I don't want to
No.
get it twisted because people will get it all twisted.
So we're not getting nothing twisted, but at the same time, my motto is no disrespect. So I don't give a fuck what these motherfuckers think about what the fuck I say. I ain't gotta say my fucking name and all that. Motherfuckers know where we stand. I love my guys, and they know that. So I ain't got to say they know what's up. The man dominated this shit for a couple of years, so it is what it is.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So,
It is.
you know I love my guys. You know that. I called you and say, come on,
Sure did. Absolutely. Like to say.
you get what I'm saying? I love my guys. I'm just saying,
I like those guys too, man.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out why they don't like me.
Well, you can't.
Let's extend the show. Hey, let's extend the show. I'm glad you said I wasn't even pinpointing that. I don't know. And I'm glad you said that.
But I would like.
Is that true? Or is that just speculative?
I mean,
So
you
can we
know-
come?
you
Can
know,
we
when
come?
you know
I
what's
like
up.
that. I like that right there. I like that right there.
What gives you?
I like that right there.
Give
I like
us
that
why
right
you
Because
think
you
that.
got good hair, yeah.
I mean, as men,
TJ, Bryce.
That nigga McLeese and new McLeese.
You know what I'm saying? Real talk. It could be as simple as that shit, yo.
That
These dudes
nigga,
savages,
the new
Hey,
coach
Ray.
McLeese.
Hey, Ray.
It
It could be the motherfucking curls,
I mean,
yo.
I just not know like, what's giving you
These
like
guys-
like what's giving you that impression.
Nah,
I mean,
bullshit,
I mean, you
man.
walk
Or do you
in,
have-
you walk in gyms, you see him, they don't speak. You know, as men, when you shake hands, you look him in his eyes. And, what's up?
Let me ask you this:
Genuine.
Do you think? Because we self-evaluate
I like
ourselves.
that
Sometimes
right
you
there.
gotta
I
check
like that
yourself.
right
Sometimes.
there.
Absolutely.
Do you think that you're adding to that? And by doing any, do you think you're adding to it any sort of way, or you just
By
think?
me doing my job is adding to that.
No, I'm asking you. Do you
Issue
think,
itself.
like for instance, I may get to the point if I'm winning so much to where I'm walking in the gym where sometimes, like Bryce, let me tease Bryce for a second. Really didn't happen, but he could have. I saw Bryce at Wild Wings, right? I had with my kids, so I go over to him. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "Hey, what's up? You the shoulder." I was like, "Damn, did Bryce just big time me?"
He'll do that.
Okay, but he didn't. He didn't. But what
No,
I
he
mean
didn't. He
is, Bryce
didn't.
may not
With
have
the
known.
elements,
What I'm saying is,
I could have
what I'm saying is,
What's this?
what I'm saying is, Bryce had to look for a minute. I ain't calling
he
Bryce.
said,
Bryce
man.
older than me, right? He's older than me,
Yeah.
so he might have to take a double look. Like, oh, okay, that's Roach. Okay, that's right, wrong.
Yeah,
No,
I
trying to
know
relate
that
it to
too.
where, okay?
Yeah.
But so, are you giving? Do you think that maybe you're giving that impression that now I'm the big dog now to where if I shake Bo's hand, I'm going. Are you giving that? You know,
I don't
self-evaluate
think so.
that.
And if I am, I would want to know.
Well-
like, I give you an example. And I ain't gonna say no names. But I give you an example. I'm in the gym, AAU circuit, watching kids play, supporting my assistant coach. And I'm talking to a coach that coaches the girls team at the same school that you coach at.
Right.
And you can't come over there and speak to him or me because I'm standing there. That's an issue.
Yeah.
And it needs to be resolved because, again, if this league gets better, it starts with the adults, the coaches.
But I'm a.
So, I just, like I said,
So you don't think you add to
Well, I'm gonna give you one thing that's important in this town that I grew up in this area and these guys did is when you were saying earlier about not kind of knowing the history of Wilson, like that's huge in this area. Okay. So to take the realm, Trey Mines, I kind of had this conversation with too. Like, to not know what this city was and to come in like I did this shit, it just that don't do well here. With people that because like no Trey from Woodson no what I'm saying is it's just in this because of the history in this area, because of the unique culture. That's fine. That's fine. But some of that can come from just how they perceive you, and that's in this area. I've dealt with that in a way. That's why I've tried to extend my. No. It is, but it is. No, it is. It's all hate at the end of the day.
Like some niggas don't want to see niggas on
No, but Trey, that's at the end of the day. At the end of the day, that's all it is. But it's on his mind. He brought it up. He brought it up.
Because I don't think it's the inner high. It's
ain't hard to figure out.
The inner high, as you call it, cannot get better unless we do our jobs. Like, it should be no coach coming in the D2, D3, D1 you shouldn't be mentioning another kid at another school. It shouldn't be that way. And I know that's happening. And it will never happen with me.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Rick. If I'm back in the DCIA coaching and them other teams suck and I'm coaching a particular school, I'm not going to give a fuck if them other teams are. But now that I am a spectator and come from it, I'd like to see it.
Right.
But if I'm him, he's speaking of this man just said, but he just said, I'd like to see our league get better. Hats off to you, because if I'm you, with all due respect, I'm gonna tell him, you kiss my ass. Come get me there. That's how I approach it when I played. I mean, when I coach and played. You see what I'm saying? And that's how everybody else did it. It ain't my fault that your ass ain't going out to get played. It ain't my fault.
Man, it's just in this town, man. If you don't,
So
I mean,
man,
it's
salute to you, bro.
And then about wins and losses, man. Putting the kids on the stage.
Bottom line.
Saying we went this year and we didn't do so well on the national stage. So what? Like, we there. Like, you know, the fact that we're there, we take Wilson High School and represent the DCIA on a level that
it's all hate. It's all hate in the day.
That's not even coaching. Niggas hate on everything.
Everything.
I'm hating on all the
That's what.
The most hate when you're not winning.
I'm gonna keep on moving.
Bryce and Bo savages.
These niggas, Joe, keep it 100. Y'all so many hating. It is that shit. That's all it is.
And all I expect them to do, like I
That's
said,
right. Niggas smile on your face be hating more than the motherfuckers that don't speak. You almost can respect that shit more. For real. You see a bad ass nigga that you know hating this, boom, that's cool. There's a niggas, yeah, good job. Them the real super duper bitch niggas.
Don't you ever smile on my face? I'm hating. Hey, we gonna close out, man. It's getting late, man. I'm gonna let my motherfucking main man, Roach, closes out with a Black History moment, man. You can pick a person you talk about, man. Just get us out
Has
of
it be
here.
basketball related? Or
No.
Okay, well, something I learned today. You know, I was in Philly.
They can be a pimp. The fuck?
I learned some stuff today because I'm in. Oh, it's a whole lot. I can give a whole lot of history. Boy, y'all might think I'm here. Joe, this dude here, Slim, what you did for this city and me growing up, Slim, is unparalleled. I just be glad when Rick get to that point where he finished in that dock, Slim. What you did, you know, what you did for me in general. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like I said, just talking to my brother, man, and trying to get the tidbits of you when I was growing up, Slim. You was Superman in this motherfucking city. You'll say it at times when dudes try to jump out there. You'll correct them right down there, but you've been humble since you've been done. You know what I mean?
Because I respect my elders.
Yeah, and that's it. But some of them elders was getting it too. You get what I'm saying? You ain't discriminating at all. And that's around this country. You know what I mean? I just had an argument about a dude with you and all these dudes who he saw on TV. I said, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Because I seen it in real life. But today I learned when I was up in Philly, down on South Street, we was up there shopping, the first all black firehouse. You know, in that profession, it's dominated by white males. And at that time, in the early 1900s, they had the first all black firehouse up there, and they put them right there in the central part of the city because it was that many runs. It was a lot of runs, so they try to work them out of their positions.
You know what I mean? So that was big to see that history was still there, and them guys were still there working, and they're not letting that go. So that's kind of off the topic because I'm a firefighter now. I thought that was big for me to see, man. But just go to show you that we've been doing this thing. Us of color been doing this thing a long time, man, which opened up a lot of doors that we can never really get away from as we arguing amongst one another, trying to make each other better. I just think a lot of times we can't forget that, and if we raising kids, we can't allow them to forget that either. The bigger picture. He said, I'm here to help kids, here to help kids. You all came up with this show to provide information. At the end of the day, I'm sure, like you said, Rick's working his ass, so I don't care how old he is. Told the dude a couple months ago, what the kid is doing, nobody stepped up to do. So shut the fuck up and let this man work.
But a lot of motherfuckers ain't eccentric like him. So it goes back to the whole shit, full circle. When I was talking about how you coach,
that's the point he's making.
That's what I'm saying. When you got a wild ass
like
basketball
centric,
Bone told me today, he said, I got the coach from Wilson. Bone came and said, I got the coach from Wilson. They said, so I don't know what to do. Never met him, but I'm going to call him on the show. And you know what I mean? But see, that's what I mean by thorough dudes. You got dudes who are, I'm telling you, Bone, you lived it. You probably seen it with me because you were a more high profile player than I ever was. So you've seen it at every level. You know what I mean? At every single level. For you to stay as thorough as you are, like you say, this dude came into the league, all he's doing is putting his head down and working. That's all. That's all the man is getting hated on. If that's what he's getting hated on, then whoever's hating, then I got less respect for them. You know what I mean?
So be it.
So be it. You know what I mean? So I can respect any man with that. You know what I mean? And again, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Appreciate it so much, man. You already know I appreciate you,
my
man.
motherfucking man. My man Hernandez got to say something because he said something. He just want to know why motherfuckers don't fuck with him. So if something you want to talk about that, or that's a whole nother show now. We can come back.
Cool coming back, man.
We can come back with some
I
shit.
mean, it's important. Like I said, if people really care about the NIH, they would take the time, and if that's the city, that's the city. But that's not how I was raised. So you know, I was once that way when I was young and dumb, and not want to know like what certain people do. Like you know, to not know some things is dumb. Like you know, I asked the question, why don't you like me? We can sit down as men and have a conversation, and at the end, you might find out, damn, we got the same kind of take on this. This should have been the whole time. So we can go out and have a conversation about, yeah, your kid needs support doing this. Well, I know this guy. Let me call this guy. Let me do this. That's how it should be. And that's why our kids.
That's the old school way. And that's when I contact you and like, man, I ain't know even. I do because you was. I'm coming to show you like that's a bet. What time?
Came in and said this and that. He said you want to go. Yeah, I'm text him right now.
And that was it. So I respect that to the fullest, man. You done a great job up there with them kids and bring that public school vibe back, winning the city titles and shit like that. That's the shit that we want. That's the shit that we want. We want that shit back. And you bring it back, you getting them kids up with us and you doing your thing, man. So we appreciate you for coming on, taking your time.
Appreciate you
coming on and man. When you welcome anytime, come on and holler us, man. We gonna support you. We gonna support the whole NIH. We gonna leave it like that, man. But next show we gonna talk. I think next show you gonna be somewhere else. So we gonna close out, man.
I ain't going nowhere.
With my man Ricky G.
Tiger.
And we out here, man. The Red Cup again, man. That's what we do, man. We do, man. And that's how we gonna go, man. So appreciate my man Roach. As usual, man JB. Names. Bill Cockrum. And my man Hernandez, man. We out, man.